That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Welcome to G-Spot Talk, folks. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down right now with me and my co-host, my good friend, the producer, and always the co-host of G-Spot Talk, Lily Von Stoop. Hey, Lily, how are you? Nothing? We just had a 48-minute talk about the G-Spot, folks. And, well, all right, that seems long. It was actually more of an 8-minute talk. Was it an 8-minute talk? What, you're not gonna answer me at all? It was 7 minutes. All right, so... it was a 3-minute talk. Regardless, it was still G-Spot talk, folks. And because I'm re-entering the world of vaginas. Let's put it this way. There are mechanics out there who specialize in one sort of car. Well, for 20 years, I specialized in one sort of car, and I can tell you exactly how that fucking thing works. I knew everything there was to do to start it up. I also knew everything there was to turn it off. I knew everything you could do with my car for 20 years to get it fucking humming and to keep it fucking pistons popping and lubricated and ready to go. All right? I tuned it up. I knew how to start. I knew everything there was to know about that car, but now I sold that car. Well, I didn't sell it. That car actually drove away. It drove off a cliff. That car... Thelma and Louise jumped into my old car and drove it off a cliff, holding hands, waving at me as I stood there going, no, I know how that car works. Now I've got to learn about all new cars. So now I'm trying to figure out, because again, these new cars, man, they got push button ignition and they got all sorts of fucking stuff they got cameras in the back and I can't figure out how to, and they're different colors. You know what I mean? It's like, because look, I loved my old car. I absolutely loved it. And it was as beautiful as it was the day I got it. But there's no doubt over 20 years there had been some wear. But now these new cars, well, and that's mostly my fault because I won't be honest with you. I rode my car hard, folks. I absolutely rode that car really. I drove it into the ground. I will not lie. I drove that car into the fucking ground. And that's one of the reasons why I think it felt the need that it had to go and rejuvenate or replenish or get fixed or get tuned up or maybe it was just looking for a better driver. Let's go ahead and say that. I'm going to say that my old car became sentient and decided, you know what? I don't really care so much for this driver and this mechanic. There's got to be better mechanics and drivers out there. Certainly in Europe. Perhaps my old car is touring Europe right now as we speak. I have no idea. My old car could be out touring Europe looking for what the Italians can do with it. Because, look, the Italians work wonders with cars. And the French, forget about it. A Peugeot, a Le Car. Wasn't that what it was? Didn't they have a Le Car? I thought they did, like a million years ago. So maybe my car is out there now in Europe trying to figure out what a better driver could do. Because and someone who and let's put it this way, all I can say is this: I can only hope that my old car, the new drivers are wearing gloves. That's all I will say. I hope my old car is making sure that its new drivers is wearing gloves. Who cares? Actually, no. Go gloveless. So these new cars that I'm going to be looking at, I've got to figure out how they work, folks. Like I said, there's push button ignition. So that's what I was talking to our friend Lily about. I'm like, hey, and this is worth. You have to talk. You have to say what your response was. You promise?
I don't remember what I said.
You all right? Because
I don't.
Look, all right, because this is what we do. We sit here and we talk before the show. I've been here. What time is it now? It's probably like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I don't even know. It's, yeah, probably don't need all the seconds. I would imagine you could stop that now. Go ahead and put that on a shelf. But regardless, so I like to give people a time frame and they kind of know what was going on because then they hear the show tomorrow and they're like, ooh, what was I doing when they were recording the show? I was eating Brussels sprouts or something. Because it's dinner time in a lot of the world. Hey, it's Brussels sprout o'clock. That's fucking beautiful. It's like it's beer o'clock. Dude, what time is it? It's beer o'clock. It's 4:20. Well, fuck. It's always Brussels sprout o'clock. Brussels sprout o'clock when I'm doing this show. God damn it. I can't even talk. Brussels sprout. Oh, don't say that. Brussels sprout. That's a tough.
Brussels sprout o'clock.
Don't write that. Yeah, that's bad. That's not good at all. No. Stop that nonsense. But Brussels sprout o'clock. That's what time it is. Whenever I'm doing the show, it's Brussels sprout o'clock. You know who made amazing Brussels sprouts? My old car. Oh my God. I should, not even my old car, my previous car. I should say that because none of us are really old except for me. I'm fucking old, and it's so funny. I get that speech all the time. My mom's like, "Oh, you're so young," and I'm like, "I'm the oldest I've ever been." That's literally that's my comeback. Whenever anybody tells me, "Oh, well, 46 is the new 26," no, it is not. It is clearly not. You know what? You know what? You know who knows that? 26-year-olds. They are. Because if I were to go up to them and go, "Hey, fellas," and I'm wearing like my fucking Affliction shirt and trying to pick up some girl with a fake tan, they'd be like, "Gramps, take a walk." Hop in your old car and drive off. I can't. It's gone. I'm on the bus, God damn it. That's where I'm at now. I'm on a bus. So I said to Lily, because we were sitting here and we're talking about a million different things. There's plenty of things that we're talking about, folks, and I'll get to all of them. All right, yeah. So, all right, yeah. It is maybe the first thing I brought up, but it led us to so many other things to talk about. But I came in and I sat down and I opened up my bag of spicy pineapples and I poured them out. And I looked at Lily, who was eating 3 Snickers bars at once.
I was not at one.
That's erotic, by the way. Oh, 3 Snickers bars just jammed it right into her face.
1.5 of one Snickers bar.
All right, well, I bought you how many? 2.
Yes.
So I guess you really weren't eating 3. Why are you ruining theater of the mind for everybody? They all want to think of you with 3 Snickers bars in your mouth.
I don't want them to think of me with 3 Snickers bars in my mouth.
Well, let's put it this way. You're safe because they're certainly not thinking of you with 3 Snickers bars in your mouth. But they are, I guarantee there's 3 of something, and they may look like Snickers bars. That's all I'll say. Although not the new Snicker bars, because again, as we've talked about before, the new Snicker bars it's like the 2 fucking pieces in it. I did a whole fucking show on that. Sadly, that's how fat I am. I did a whole show about how mad I was at Snickers for breaking the bar up and then cutting it small. It's like Twinkies. Twinkies are back and they're smaller and they cost more. So that leads me to this. Lily texted me when I came here to park, and there was no parking downstairs. And what are you saying? What?
It was a joke, and you're going to tell them what I texted?
What about how you needed the Snicker bars?
What I wrote after that is...
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell them that.
No, don't.
Because truthfully, I was going to take a screenshot of it and put it on Facebook.
Oh, please don't. It
Uh,
was a joke.
they understand it's a joke, Lily. You know that, right? I just said it's Brussels sprouts o'clock.
The picture, I don't think they do.
Bullshit. These people know it's a joke. Although there are people who think that I'm fucking you,
Yes, there
which
are
is
far too
weird.
many people who think you're fucking
Well,
me.
then
I
whatever
think
the
that's
fuck.
a bad thing that I wouldn't fuck you because you're horrible or something.
Yeah.
You're my brother, man. That's wrong.
See? Well, until I can talk you out of that, yes. Completely agreed. I'm with you on that. Because I wrote that on the CD. It's in the liner notes. And then some guy's like, hey, this is the girl you call your sister because I have a handful of your hair in one photo. Which I find out now is a problem. I just thought, all right, we'll get to that in a second. Well, it was funny in the moment, but your boyfriend wasn't thrilled.
No, he was ribbing me because I was like, I didn't know he put it online. It was funny.
Okay, you grabbed me.
Yeah, I said, come here and take a picture, and I thought it was a funny picture.
Yes.
I didn't think about the fact that it would go online tonight or tomorrow.
That's the only thing. That's the only reason to take pictures is to put them online. What? I'm going to save that as a keepsake for myself for the night you got on your knees in front of me.
But he looked at me and he goes, really? Like that? And I'm like, aha, it's up. That's hysterical. And I laughed.
And then he said, handful of your hair? Seriously?
Your hair? But he said it.
He didn't like it. That's fine. We can deal with the fact he didn't like it, and that's okay. So I'm downstairs in the car, and I get a text from Lily. And you know what's funny? I wasn't even going to say that, but now I am.
No.
Of course I am. So I bought her Snickers bars. She wanted Snickers bars because she's in a way. She's in a way right now. She's in a snit. There's a thing going on, and Snickers bars are the only thing that can help. Yeah, she's fainting dead away, and I can't possibly have that. So she wanted Snickers bars. She goes, if you brought me, she wanted. Well, first, so I go buy these Snickers bars. Well, all right. She texted me. I'm just gonna fucking say it. I know you don't want me to. Who cares? She texted me, and it said on the screen. She goes, if you brought me 2 Snickers bars, I would be so grateful. Not blowjob grateful, but certainly grateful.
Which I thought was hysterical.
That is funny. It's a joke. People know it's a joke. Again, I just said it was Brussels sprouts o'clock. These people know it's a comedy show. And anybody just tuning in is going, this is the worst public affairs conversation I've ever heard in my life. Any new person, anybody who thinks this is like a fucking world events show is sorely mistaken at this point. They just heard me do a whole fucking 90-minute analogy about a car bullshit that I'm going to stick my fingers in. Dude, the opening line was welcome to G-Spot Talk. Unless they think it's what is it, the big G conference. What the fuck was that thing in Seattle where they had all the riots? I don't even remember.
World G Conference.
It was the the World G conference. World G's. He was actually he was in the Sugar Hill Gang, I think. World G.
World G. What's the name of that?
I don't know. Oh, you're gonna look it up. So she said, I'm not blowjob grateful, but certainly grateful. So then I texted her back, well, there's no parking down here anyway, so I'll go take a look. And then I said, hand job grateful? And, I don't even know why you don't want me to say this, because you look good compared to what I typed.
It was just all funny.
Yes, it was funny, but you're worried you're going to look bad, but the thing I typed is like fucking horrifying. So I wrote hand job grateful. And Lily wrote back, no, maybe doing my nails while I watch grateful. Which is funny, right? I have no idea why you're upset about it, because again, that's fine. We're still on a decent level. We're still probably at a PG-13, I would think.
I don't think so.
Blowjob, hand job, just those words were at a PG-13. But unfortunately, I ratcheted up the hard R with my response to you, which was watching while I do my nails, but you can come in my hair grateful. And I can't even imagine the look on your face when that showed up on your screen. But you know what's funny? No matter what I type, my iPhone always tries to autocorrect it to "come in your hair." No matter what I type at all, because I've typed that phrase so many times.
Finish what happened next.
So then you wrote no.
Yes.
That's all you wrote was no.
Yes. And you responded.
And I
with,
said, looks like no Snickers for you then. Because, goods and services, the system of barter, there's commerce involved. I'm a capitalist, folks. If nothing else, I'm a capitalist.
Oh my god. And yet?
Yet I brought Snickers. Of course I did.
Because you're a good
Well,
brother.
well, I haven't left yet. Literally, since I've gotten here, she's just done nothing but brush her hair and stare at me. So I got the Snickers bars for you, and I told the guy, I go, oh man, I don't have any cash. I just went to the gas station on the corner. I said, I don't have any cash. He goes, no problem. And he rings it up, $4.50. And I looked at him and I go, what are you talking about? Like literally, I couldn't even control it. It was like my head was out of. What are you talking about? He goes, $4.50. I go, each Snickers bar is $2.25. He goes, yes, for like a month they have raised the prices. And I said, but $2.25, that's retarded. And he goes, oh, well, it's because you got the big one. And the smaller one is over there. It's $1.80. And I'm like, still $1.80 for a fucking small Snickers bar? Is there a fucking peanut embargo? What the fuck? So many people are dying in the caramel mines that they had to fucking raise it up. I didn't know I was buying blood candy from fucking Botswana. So now Jimon Hansu and Leonardo DiCaprio are going to make a fucking movie about it. Blood candy. So I bought the Snickers bars, and then I came here, and then that's all Lily did was eat them and stare. You grabbed them out of my hand, you crouched in a corner, and you ate them like the doll in Trilogy of Terror, like Karen Black. You just fucking... Yeah. Hi. And then as she was eating candy, I said, well, I'll ask her this. So I said, hey, Lily, what is your position on G-spot orgasms?
Oh, I remember what I said.
Okay, and what did you say?
I'm not repeating
Well, I think
that.
you should.
No, it was very funny, but I don't know.
Well, say it.
You.
She said her position on G-spot orgasms was about 2.5 inches in and to the left.
I'm hysterical.
Yes. So why won't you own it? That was funny. And then I did some quick math in my head, and I literally like that thing where, again, like last week I'm eating air pussy. Well, then she says that, and then I take my hand in the air, and I literally I'm like put it up, and I'm like, wait a minute, and then yeah, all right.
And then what did I say? I said, all kidding aside, I think they exist.
Why would you say that, but you wouldn't say the previous thing?
Because I don't like saying dirty things in the air like you do.
Oh my God. Okay,
Sweet
Mrs. Phone Sex Operator. Sure, all right. So yeah, so we were talking about, because I'm doing all sorts of research, folks. I got to stay. If I get back in the game ever, I got to know what I'm doing. I got to know what the new models are like. I got to figure it all out. Because like I told Lily, my experience with that topic is, sometimes the car gets started and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you can find an ignition and sometimes you can't. But the good news is there is always an ignition button on the outside of the car that you can go ahead and take care of, and that's going to start it up every single time. Jesus Christ. The most tortured of all analogies. Let's get back to Snickers bars and bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, I'll update you guys on this because last week, unfortunately, as you know, I was in my head last week. I was a little freaked out. I was a little weirded out about stuff that I had on my plate, in my bowl, stuff that was in my bowl, that was on my cookie sheet, stuff that was in my Dutch oven, stuff that was in my colander at the house, stuff that I had in my coffee pot, stuff that I had in my flaxseed grinder. It's not really it's more of a coffee grinder, but I use it for flax seeds because I dump it into my smoothies, my kale and spinach smoothies. I don't like smoothie. It's protein shake. It's a protein shake, folks. I'm not a fucking child. Smoothie's a kid word. Like whenever I hate that when I go there and I go shopping and it's like it'll say fruit and it says perfect for smoothies and I'm like, I don't want to buy that. Where's the fruit for protein shakes? Damn it! I want manly fucking bicep fruit. I don't want any of this fucking smoothie fruit. Smoothie fruit sounds like I should be wearing Mickey Mouse ears when I make it. Yay! Fucking awful. I want to make a goddamn protein shake. Where's the fruit that I can flex with? Flex with this fruit. That's what I want. Where's the fucking your dirt fruit? That's what I want. Fuck you, smoothie. Your dirt. That's what I want, goddammit. I want fucking tough fruit. Although I will tell you this, I went to 3 different stores yesterday looking for organic blueberries. I don't know when I became a Grateful Dead fan. I have no fucking idea when that happened. But because I refuse, I won't. When I was, my old car was still here. My previous car. I don't want to say an old car. That makes it sound like it's out of date, but it is not. It is. From what I understand, it's running very well. I wouldn't know. I've been told. That's the rumor. Although I did see my older car, my previous car. God damn it! Shut up. The fuck was I talking about? What were we talking about? Fruit, dude. Oh, I went to Trader Joe's the other day. And I keep looking for anything to throw into my smoothies. Like, because, again, fruit covers up everything. Like, you can put whatever the fuck you want in there. You can fucking handful of chow mein, whatever the fuck you want. It's still going to taste like fruit. You're in. So I'm buying shit to throw into my protein shake. Because the other day I made one and I had kale. And I threw an apple in there. And I threw in some frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries, some fucking acai. And then I threw in a handful of tomatoes. I just fucking threw it all in there and fucking ground it up, and it was awesome. Awesome. Tasted so good. God damn it. Love it. Huge fan of the protein shake. Fucking hate smoothies. So I was looking for something new to throw into my smoothie, like zucchini or something. I'm like, anything. Because, again, kale and spinach are green, and it's good to find green, so I was going to throw broccoli in there. So I was at Trader Joe's, and I'm walking around, and like I said, I'm very healthy, and I'm buying all sorts of healthy stuff. And they were out of organic blueberries, which pissed me off. But then I saw broccoli florets. And I'm like, dude, I could throw a handful of those into my goddamn protein shake. It'll be awesome. So I went to grab them, and and this is important, though. You've got to look at the date on all of the fucking produce you get at Trader Joe's. Because I don't know because they don't, you know why? Because it's organic or they don't spray the poison on it, so it dies, like, immediately. Like, I will buy bananas at Trader Joe's, and they're green as the fucking Hulk, but by the time I get home, they're softer than a cock in a nursing home. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh my god.
It's infuriating. So... sure it is. It's terrible. So it drives me crazy. Like whenever I buy, because you got to just, you have to be like Pac-Man with the fruit from Trader Joe's. You almost have to eat it on the way home. When you're in the car, you have to just start eating it because before you get to the fucking house, it's going to be ruined. Because Monsanto has not gotten to Trader Joe's yet. They have all the non-poison fruit there. So then I buy all this organic bullshit. But then I grabbed the broccoli and I looked at the date. And the date was like September 23rd. Now, that's far off in the distance. And I'm going to be making smoothies. I'm not going to be making smoothies. Fuck. I make protein shakes every day. So I'll be done with that quick. So I grabbed the broccoli, and as I picked it up, liquid came out of the bottom of the bag, and it stunk. Like it smelled. It smelled like a cat had pissed over all the broccoli. Like that was and I looked, and it had pooled up on the shelf and what was funny, I checked for organic blueberries and there were none, so I asked the guy, and he goes, I'll go look in the back. And then when he went in the back is when I went and grabbed the broccoli, and then this foul liquid came out all over my hand. And then I'm like, I gotta find a fucking bathroom and wash my hands, but I gotta sit here and wait for Blueberry Jones to get back. So I'm just standing there with fucking reeking hands, and I'm staring at the broccoli, and someone actually went to get the broccoli. I go, don't, seriously, it's not worth it. It just reeks. And they looked at me like I was a crazy person and walked off. And then he came from the back, and he's like, dude, I'm sorry, we're totally out of organic blueberries. And then he flipped his dreads. Why did he talk like that? Dude, I'm sorry, we're like totally out of the organic blueberries. And then he fucking put his Birkenstocks on and walked away. Then he pulled out a handful of granola and he ate it. And then he made me a mixtape of fish. All right, so He was the guy from the string cheese incident, the guy with the fucking horrible feet with the claws. Oh, I hated that dude. God damn it, that guy was awful. So he's like, yeah, dude, we're totally out of organic blueberries. And then he did his devil sticks and he kicked a hacky sack in my face. All right, so I'm there. And he put on a jester hat and he walked over to the grapefruits and he juggled them. All right. I said, I go, okay, that's fine. And he went to go stock the shelves and I go, dude, this broccoli is bad. He goes, what? I go, I just tried to grab a bag of this broccoli and like, here's like, smell my hands. And I didn't even, like, I wasn't, he could have smelled the broccoli, but stupid me, because I was so freaked out and worried about my hands that, because I'm literally, I'm not touching anything, I'm holding them away from my body. I look like a fucking, like Frankenstein, like, but I said, here, smell my hands. And he just kind of made a face. I go, no, you know what? Bad idea. Smell the broccoli. Like, pick up the bag. There's fluid in it or something. And when he picked it up, it just started to drip, and he put it right to his face, on his face. Like, I mean, they all smelled like campus, but he pressed it to his face. It wasn't like he kept it far away with like an inch buffer. He like smashed it into his, and then he did it with like 3 different bags. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're not picking up? Am I like a super smeller? Is that it? Or are you just working around cat piss produce so much that this fucking smell is blended in? But regardless, I ran away because I wanted to wash my fucking hands. I actually wanted to boil them, quite frankly. So then I go into the Trader Joe's bathroom and I'm waiting. There's a dude in there and he walks out, and then I'm trying to negotiate the door with my elbows because I didn't want to touch anything with my hands. So I open the door and I slide in and I turn on the water as hot as it'll go, and I'm banging the soap trying to get it into my fucking hand. And I plunged in and I'm fucking roasting my hands and I'm putting the soap on, and an old man walks in behind me. And I have earbuds on, by the way. I live everything. My whole life is lived in earbuds now. Store, bank, home, now. I'm wearing them now. That's right, folks. I know you can hardly believe it, but I actually have earbuds in right this second. Because if tweakedaudio.com/40 is going to sponsor the show and they're going to give me mountains of earbuds, why wouldn't I wear them at all times? I should have been wearing them for years. Years, folks. Ever since the sponsorship showed up. You know what? Maybe if I had the earbuds in for years, maybe I still keep my old car. Maybe that's no, because let's put it this way. Maybe if my old car had earbuds in all the time, maybe I'd still have that car around. Maybe I'd still be driving that around town. But unfortunately, no. So I had the earbuds in, and I'm roasting my hands in the sink, and this old dude walks in, and I can't hear him because I've got fucking music blaring, but he walks in and he just gives me the fucking meanest look in the mirror. I saw him in the mirror, and I looked up and I saw him, and he was furious, and he just fucking threw his arms in the air and he walked off like an old person does. And I finished washing my hands and I walked out. I knew I was pissed because it's a one-person bathroom. But so what? I mean, it's, you know, if you walk in and I'm taking a shit, then I could be you getting upset. I'm washing my hands. I'm not doing anything that requires any sort of real privacy. But I guess maybe he's going to do something that requires privacy, so he's pissed off that he walks in there, or maybe he's old. He doesn't have time to waste. He's dying. Every second that goes by is another second closer to his death. And I guess that's true for all of us. But when your seconds have moved down to the point where you're bent and gray, I guess maybe that's a problem. And also, you know, maybe he's on Flomax. Maybe when he's got to fucking go, he's got to fucking go, and he doesn't want me in the goddamn room. I don't know. That's shit I'll know about in the coming years, folks, as our bodies fall apart. Let's talk about G-spots and Flomax, folks. So I finish roasting my hands, and I go to walk in the hallway, and I have to walk past a child and the old man. And the child has kind of wormed his way in front of the old man, and the old man is mad that, like, it looks like the kid is going to try to go in the bathroom. Because kids are just dumb. They just go wherever. And so I go walking out, and I go to slide past. The last thing I want to do, by the way, because the kid is, you know, waist level. I am not going to rub up against that kid or bump him in any way, because all of a sudden then I get tackled and I'm on fucking, you know, Dateline. So no thanks. But the kid won't move. So I'm like, excuse me. And the kid kind of like looks up at me, and he was kind of dense because he wouldn't move. But also I realized he can't move because the old man is hemmed in right behind him. So this poor kid, it's like if you park your car and 2 guys park too close. Well, that's what happened. He's caught between fat guy and old guy. And one's coming out of the bathroom, and old guy's on his way in. And so the little kid is between us, and the old man goes, "You need to lock the door when you use the bathroom," and pokes me in the chest. You need, like, bang, bang, bang. You need to lock the door, and hits me. Puts his hands on me.
Wow.
And look, folks, I'm a cheerful guy, and I just washed my hands, and I'm having a good time, and I'm there buying kale. But at the same time, I'm kind of a fucking jagoff, and I have been like my whole life, and especially if somebody puts their fucking hands on me. Now, I can't beat up an old man, I realize that, and there's a little kid between us. If I go after the fucking old dude, then the kid's gonna get caught up in the fucking maelstrom, and then it's gonna be really bad. Then I'm on Dateline again. Folks, no matter what happens, if I go to Trader Joe's, I'm gonna wind up on Dateline. If I'm not buying poison broccoli, I'm beating the fuck out of a kid in the bathroom. It's awful. Trader Joe's is a pitfall. Trader Joe's is a fucking bear trap that sells kale. That's all it is. So I'm standing there, and we're in this tight space because the old man won't back up and the little kid is trapped and I'm standing there and the door's closed behind me to the bathroom. And this guy pokes me in the chest 3 times. Now, like I said, folks, I realize I can't beat up an old man. That just seems ridiculous, right? Now.
Oh no.
Because I can tell you, folks, no matter how many times you tell yourself, I can't beat up an old man. When the situation presents itself, you find out you're pretty capable of beating up an old man. And I blame you, folks. I'm going to tell you this. I blame you for that attitude, and here's why. You've indulged me for years. You've let me do whatever the fuck I want. You let me talk for 4 hours. You show up and pay to see me. I'll talk for 3.5 hours live. So you've led me to follow my id. You've led me to cast off all pretense and throw off my shackles and go ahead and behave like a bear in human clothing. So this really is your fault. Because again, I've said, I can't beat up an old man, obviously. Not quite as obvious in the moment. Because when there's an old guy who actually physically puts his hands on you, you find out that you're actually pretty capable of handling yourself in that situation by maybe beating up an old man. Now, I should say, beating up is strong. That's a strong phrase. I walked out of the bathroom door closed, the little kid is between us, and it happened, again, as these things often are. It was a blur. I didn't fucking think. I just did what I would do. So I've got my earbuds on, and I walked out of the bathroom, and the little kid was there, and this old man won't back up, so I'm like, excuse me, I'm focusing on the kid more than the old man, because I know the old man's a sourpuss and he's pissed. But then he reaches over and he pokes me in the chest. He's like, you need to lock the door when you're in the bathroom, and he pokes me 3 times in the chest. And as I said, folks, you can't beat up an old man unless they fucking put their hands on you. So without thinking, and I think that kind of goes without saying, really, when you go ahead and put your mind to it without thinking. And by the way, nothing good is ever going to come after the phrase of without thinking. There's nothing good about muscle memory in this situation. If you're a 46-year-old guy who used to be a bouncer and is just a dumbass, nothing is good in your muscle memory at all. He reaches across and he pokes me in the chest and he's like, you need to lock the door. And without even fucking blinking, like I said, I got earbuds on and I'm not even thinking. And I throw my right hand out, and basically I choke him. Not choking, but like, how do I put this? Like I didn't grip him, but my hand went to his throat and his chest and I went boom. And I put him up against the wall and I go, you need to keep your fucking hands off me. Now, I'm here to tell you, don't do what Mike does. Because there's no winning in that situation if you're Mike. Because I'll tell you what, if somehow someone's going to call the police, if somebody witnesses that confrontation, nobody calls the police and goes, oh my God, a 70-year-old man just poked a guy in the chest. Nobody says that. No, people say, there's a rampaging 300-pound guy who just punched an old guy in the face and there's a child. Oh my God, won't somebody think of the child? But you know what, man? I don't give a fuck if you fought Hitler. I don't care what war you were in. I don't care what spider hole you hid in Normandy and fucking leaped out and killed 2 Germans with a bayonet. Motherfucker, my name might be Schmidt, but you don't have a bayonet. And this is not World War fucking II. It's goddamn Trader Joe's. I got a fucking cart with trail mix in it. I am not trying to get the drop on Company C. Back the fuck off. foot off the gas pedal, old man. Pull your Jeep over because this is not the war anymore. You're not Saving Private Ryan. It's trail mix I'm buying. Get the fuck out of my way. Because you might be part of the greatest generation, motherfucker, but I am part of the worst. So, and you know what's fucking weird, folks? I always think that I'm past this. I always think I won't react like this. There's a guy at Barbecue House, and he knows a guy who owns a bar. Two guys who own two separate bars. One's in Eagle Rock and one's somewhere else. He's like, hey, if you want some easy money, I can get you a job bouncing there. And I said, no, that's not good for me. And he's like, it's easy. He goes, it's all these hipster guys drinking fucking PBR and they just, they mope around. He goes, it's nothing. You're just guarding the door. You're checking IDs. Rarely does anything happen. I go, yeah, but you know what? I'm pretty good at making rarely happen. I don't know why, but it just seems to be when I show up. Because you know what? It's also because I'm big. Big guys, fat guys. Guys, people want to take a poke at you. They just do. They just fucking do. They think they can push you around. And it doesn't help that I might be a big guy with a little man complex, or just I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. But I keep thinking I won't react that way. And like I said, he's like, dude, you can be a bouncer. And I'm like, dude, I'm 46. I don't want to get hit anymore. I don't. And so I turn it off. And I try to just kind of be nice and float through and not. But I mean, dude, if you put your fucking hands on me, if you put your yes, I should have recognized he's old. He's like 65 or whatever the fuck he was. It looked like Hal Holbrook was taking a swing at me. I mean, it was just that fucking bad. He was doing his one-man show as Mark Twain, but it was angry Mark Twain who couldn't get into the bathroom in time. And I was apparently doing my one-man show as the guy who killed Mark Twain in a Trader Joe's. So those are not two shows you want to mix up. If you're doing your one-man show as Mark Twain, do not run into the guy who's doing his one-man show as the guy who killed Mark Twain in a Trader Joe's. It will not end well. There will not be a curtain call for you at all. So I threw a right arm out and I pinned him up against the wall by his chest and his neck. And by the way, that's a weird reaction for me because normally I would pin a guy with my left hand and cock my right hand to punch him. So it shows that I'm making some improvements. It shows that maybe my muscle memory is hoping to diffuse a situation rather than escalate a situation.
Yeah.
Because it figures just by pinning somebody to the fucking wall with a straight arm is a lot better than actually pinning them to the wall and then just firing right hands into their face until they collapse. By the way, it would not have to be plural right hands with this guy. Again, it was a thin Wilford Brimley who came in and just fucking ran at me. But again, folks, don't. If you go to the zoo, there's a sign. It's like don't put your hand in the cage. I should have a cage around me at all times, folks. Don't put your hand in my cage. Don't get in my kitchen unless you want to get cooked. So I fucking just fired my right hand out and I pinned him against the wall. And I'm like, you need to keep your fucking hands off me. And his face changed. From sour, aggressive, angry old man who was the bus driver in Crankshaft to... And by the way, that is a. If you get that, I do because I just thought of that. And if you get that, good for you. It might have been Funky Winkerbean. I don't know. It's some fucking comic strip. But there was a bus driver who had this sour old man face. His face just looked like an anus with a hat on. I mean, it was just fucking terrible. Just because it was all puckered, it was like fucking just shrunk. But that's what he looked like when he was all mad. He's like, you need to keep your and I just fucking pinned him up against the wall. And then his face went from you should lock the door to this is how it ends. I fought in the big one, and I'm about to get murdered by a guy who has a pear in his fucking shopping cart. Just this weird realization came over his face. Because you know what? You know who this guy was? This was the ghost of future me. A guy who can't control himself and does something stupid and then finds himself in a situation he can't extricate himself from. Except I'm still in the situation now where I can maybe fight my way out of something. When I'm 70, I won't be able to fight my way out of fucking anything. However, I may still be poking people in the chest in a goddamn grocery store. So that dude was me, sent from the future. That's who he was. To warn me to change. That guy was fucking Ichabod Scrooge or whatever the fuck. What's his name? Ebenezer Scrooge. That's what it is.
Scrooge and Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod Crane. He's the headless horseman. They're making that show. Did you see that commercial?
Yeah.
I'm watching football over the weekend, and they keep showing me this commercial for Sleepy Hollow. And I'm like, all right, well, Sleepy Hollow, that's the movie with Johnny Depp. Why are these two people in it? Why is there a black woman cop in Sleepy Hollow? What the fuck's happening? And again, I didn't Google it. I don't know anything fucking about it. But from what it looks like to me, folks, is for some reason they went into the network and they said, all right, you know the legend of Sleepy Hollow? With like the Headless Horseman and Ichabod Crane and scary trees. And then there's Helena Bonham Carter for no reason. What if we brought that to modern day New York? However, we still had Ichabod whatever the fuck. And he was here and he was hanging out with a cop and he got partnered up. So it was like CSICHABOD. God damn it, folks. Honestly, that saved the entire show. I don't care. CS Ichabod. Come on. Seriously. But that's what it looked like to me. I'm just like, so wait, and then he's hiding behind a car and he's getting shot at, but he's wearing a flouncy shirt. I just still don't get it. I don't understand the concept. I don't know how drunk the guys at Fox were or whoever the fuck who just went, yeah, that's a good idea. Ichabod Crane in New York. Yeah, let's do it. You know, just stupid. All right. So, and who wrote the Legend of Sleepy Hollow? E. Cummings? I don't know. Whoever the fuck. I don't know who it was. Robert Frost? Robert Burns? It was any of those poets. They wrote it. Isn't it a poem? Or is that Casey at the Bat? Casey at the Bat is supposed to be a poem. That rhymes. But Casey at the Bat is not really a poem. You know what I want to do? I want to go to a poetry slam and do Casey at the Bat. How fucking great would that be? Would people snap their fingers and go crazy? Or they would just be, would they get it? Like if when I'm like halfway through with the Mudville 9 and I'm doing all that shit, are they finally going to go, he's just doing fucking Casey at the Bat? Or do they just go, we recognize it. This is a postmodern look at Casey at the Bat. No matter what happens, if I do a poem anywhere in any poetry slam, there is no joy in Mudville. I can tell you that. I don't even need to be there. Whenever there's a poetry slam, there is no joy in Mudville. And if you've got a poetry slam in Mudville, oh my God, there is doubly no joy. Because Mighty Schmitty is struck out. All right. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. All right. So I feel awful telling this story because again, all these stories made me look like a fucking dumbass because I can't because I always think they're gonna end differently and I always think I could just walk away and I'm just gonna be fine and it's not gonna be a problem. But it's like, dude, I just there's a switch that flips and I fucking go away and that happens and it just fucking happens and it's gonna end right someday soon. Although no, I guess not because 70-year-old me showed up and poked me in the chest in front of a fucking bathroom. So I'm like, you need to keep your fucking hands off me. And his face changes. And I know my face changed. He looked at me and you know who I was? I turned into the devil like John Candy in fucking Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. Because a second ago, he was all mad at me. And then I was like, with a fucking pin up against the wall. But I will say this for myself. I recognize immediately when I've gone off the fucking rails. All right. So I pin him up and it's like, and it made this awesome noise. I won't lie. Because look, I like sometimes tough guy weird bullshit. All right. So when I put him against the wall, it wasn't like, sir. It was just boom. Like my fucking arm shot out and he collapsed. Like his whole chest formed around my hand as if he were like Stretch Armstrong. Like it just fucking, he was made of like jelly because he's old. He's fucking old. He has no muscle tone. Quit poking me, old man. You left your muscle tone back at the war. Shuffling around the store buying grapes and you're going to fucking challenge me? You don't want me. You don't want any of me. Come on, God damn it. I'm fucking 6'2", 298, a vascular and yoked. You want none of this. And my hair looks great and a girl smiled at me and I got earbuds in. Fuck. It's his fault. It's honest. Fuck it. I'm off the hook. It's his fucking fault. You put your hands on me, you get what you fucking get. So I have this old man pinned against the wall. I can't even say it. It's so stupid. So I have this 70-year-old man pinned against the wall with my right hand in his throat. God damn it. And especially a guy with dad issues. You're 70 and you want to come after a guy with dad issues? Guess what? I got news for you. You are my dad's punchable face. You are Jack's endless rage for his father. So I fucking throw my hand out and I pin him against the wall. And I didn't cock a fist. So it was like, look, again, like I said, my muscle memory is improving. It's not escalating. It's diffusing. I'm just getting that guy off me as soon as I possibly can. Because that shit I used to do when I was bouncing, man. When I think I told the story. There was a fight that broke out once. This is when This is young bouncing. This is fucking 21-year-old Mike Schmitty fucking bouncing. Schmitty. I call myself Schmitty like an idiot. This is 21-year-old Mike. At the time I was, and this is when I was losing weight because I was dancing every night. When I wasn't bouncing, I was fucking out at the bar all the time. Well, I swear to God, I told the story. I was up in the DJ booth. And this was the DJ booth where I got the fucking the criminal hand job from that one chick who just fucking seized my cock and almost fucking tore it off. I told that story. That's what it was, basically. She basically handcuffed my cock and dragged it off to jail. It was terrible. I told that story. It was one of the first stories I told with you, and you were just, I think that's when you went, what the fuck did I get myself into? Because she just, and when she kissed me, her teeth hit my teeth. She was awful. That girl was just a mess. And you know what? She's a mom now somewhere. She's got kids. You ever think she thinks about that? Hey, remember that time I almost ripped that guy's cock off and then I tried to bite his teeth? Holy shit, you were awfully high. Goddamn, how drunk and high were you? You almost bit my teeth off and tore my dick off. Some kind of weird monster. I was making out with Pumpkinhead in the fucking DJ booth. Leave me alone. So, she just grabbed like a handful and yanked. Like there was no fucking, it wasn't good, folks. It was as if my cock had poked her in the chest and said, "You need to lock the door," and she just reached her arm out. Yeah. Oh my Christ. So in that same club, on a different night from Criminal Handjob, I was up in the DJ booth. And I was bouncing, and there was never really any problem there. So I always basically hung out in the DJ booth and tried to pick up girls at the bar. That's all I did. And I wasn't dressed like a malevolent bouncer. That was the thing. Is like I was just there. I was a presence. That's all I was. I was a presence there. And if anything were to happen, I was supposed to get involved. But nothing ever happened, which was too bad because all DJ and I would do was sit around and we would talk about how we were going to fuck somebody up if anything happened. But nothing ever happened, and that was fine because again, you don't really want it to happen. We're all trying to get laid. That's all we want to do was fuck girls. But at the same time, I don't mind fighting too. Whatever the fuck, who cares? So I was up in the DJ booth once with Deej, and I just hear a commotion because there's music playing and people are dancing, but I look out of the corner of my eye, I can see like movement, and the restroom was directly down like stairs. Like you had to go down 3 stairs from the DJ booth, and then there was a landing where there were like VIP tables, and then there was another step, and then you could go into the hallway where the restroom was. Did I tell this story? I must have told this story. It was the first time I ever, as a bouncer, had to get physically involved with something. And also, I should tell you this, as a bouncer, you're not supposed to hurt people. You're supposed to just kind of quell the disturbance and then get everybody out of the club. That's your whole thing, is you want people out of the club as soon as possible. Well, that's what I know now, after years of having done it in so many different clubs and being warned. Well, there, like I said, I was just a presence. This guy, Jim, fucking hired me to hang out because I was DJ's buddy. And he said, if anything happens, just, take care of it. Which, to a fucking 21-year-old, that could mean anything. Set him on fire, hit him with a chair. Who the fuck knows? A 21-year-old pro wrestling fan, it's just like, dude, don't tell me that. I'll just fucking chicken wing the shit out of a guy, which is what I usually did. If anything were to happen, I would just fucking throw a guy in a chicken wing, a crossface chicken wing, just fucking Bob Backlund him right out of the fucking club. Which I wound up doing later when I was working as a security guard at concerts. Who cares? Buy your everything. Because there's always a story like this where I wind up in a fucking yellow windbreaker getting spit in the face, and then I got to take a guy out and tune him up. It's fucking terrible. But not recently. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Because again, I've conquered that side of myself, folks. I don't have that instinct anymore. If anybody puts their hands on me, I just casually step aside. I say, "Pardon me." And I walk out and I head to my car, or I go wherever I'm going. Because I defer to people, folks. That's what I do. I defer now. I step aside. I stand down because I'm done with that part of my life. There's no reason to be that frosty all the time. So I see this commotion out of the corner of my eye, and I hear it. It's just this dust up, and it's I look over and there's 2 dudes stomping a guy in the hallway. He's on the ground and they're kicking him in the face. I mean, it's like just clearly they've jumped this guy and they're letting him have it. So instinct takes over at that point. All I know is I'm protect the club, just get involved. So I run out of the DJ booth. Now I got to run down like 4 steps and then an incline and then the VIP seats, and then it's basically I start running downhill. Like a fucking train, because at the time I'm probably 275 and 270 and still big and young and angry. So I see these guys just hitting a dude. So all I do, I just turn around and DJ's like, before DJ can even go look, I split. I just run as fast as I can, and I don't even think about it because I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Because when you just start running into the fray, I don't think, which is one of the reasons why I wound up with a fucking gun at my head in the House of Blues by year whatever. Because I just get involved where I shouldn't get involved. Well, this time I should have gotten involved because I'm a presence in the club. And it's like, dude, there's two guys stomping a guy. And you know what? No matter where I'm at, even if I'm not bouncing, if I'm just at a grocery store, if I see two guys stomping a guy, I'm going to get involved. Which is why every day I leave the house and I go, I hope I don't see two guys stomping a guy. Because I don't want to fucking get involved. And if I see two guys stomping a guy and I don't get involved, you guys are all like, you pussy, you said you were going to get involved. I don't need you guys turning on me. You're all I got. So I just start running at these dudes, and they're stomping the guy in the hallway. And that thing goes through your mind where you're like, well, do I got to grab a guy? Do I hit a guy? Do I stop? And it's because your mind's not even, as we know, my mind kind of goes quick. So I'm not even processing what's happening. I just know I got to get down there and stop this as quickly as I possibly can. Am I going to hit somebody? Am I going to grab somebody? Am I going to drag somebody out? Am I just break up the fight? Am I going to go, hello, fellas, put your hands down. Have at you. Whatever the fuck I'm going to do. Well, you know what I did? I ran at them and then didn't stop. I decided the best course of action was to not stop running. And I made it a bowling alley.
Oh my God.
So I ran as fast as I could, big 6'2", 270 downhill, ran at them. And I should tell you this, in the old days, I could move. Not so much now, I'm all beaten up, my knees are kind of fucking weird. And I can walk, and I can maybe run, but with no real speed. I don't think, I haven't tried in a while. I mean, I can jog, but to go flat out full sprint, I actually can kind of move. There was one time, this is awesome. I was playing a fucking football game, and you don't care. Nobody cares about Glory Days bullshit stories about Sandlot football and all that nonsense, and that's fine. I don't blame you. However, I get invited to play like in a turkey bowl. You know how every family, they have that Thanksgiving game? Well, my buddy Kelly Moran, who's unfortunately dead, now, not even, that's okay. He's dead now, so that's why. You know why I said that? Because I said his last name. So in my head, I went, well, you better tell people that he's dead in case they Google him. So I was like, well, Google him, he's dead. But at the time, I can tell you, very much alive. Or else it would have been the game would have been terrible. I will not lie to you. If he invites me to play in his family turkey bowl and he's dead, first of all, I hope he's not on my team because, quite frankly, that leaves us a man down on defense. That's not good at all. You can hide a dead guy on offense. You can put him up at guard and prop him up, and he just gets in the way and at least stops some of the pass rush. But on defense, what the fuck's he going to do? Nothing. Unless you're in a goal line stand. If you're in a goal line stand, you can hide a corpse. Because you can just put it right in the center between two other dudes, and it just forms mass so the guy can't fucking go through it. That's just Vince Lombardi talking, folks. For years, he would tell you about what to do if you had a dead guy on defense. He would just go, you know what, shove him in the middle. What the hell's going on out there? There's a dead guy on defense. That's how they won the Ice Bowl. Because they actually had a dead guy at center. They'll tell you it was Jerry Kramer. They're lying. Okay. So I made it a fucking bowling alley. I just ran as hard as I could, and I literally just blocking slid the two of them. I went right through both of them. It wasn't even, and certainly, I may have stepped on the guy who was on the ground. Yes, I will say that. But he was already taking a beating, so would he rather get one final shot from me or continue getting stomped on by these two dudes? Well, but I fucking ran and blasted the two. I just killed them. I sent them both flying into the fucking ladies' room and then just jumped on them and started hitting them. And then DJ came down there and then we grabbed them and we threw them out and called the cops and all that kind of bullshit. But I just fucking, it was so satisfying. I can't stress that enough, folks, because it's just, they didn't even, I blasted these two. So, what are we talking about? So I'm playing Sandlot football. Kelly Moran invites me to play. And I'm a big fat dude, right? They think, oh, that's a big fat dude, whatever. But they're like, oh, you can block. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to block all the time because I can catch. I'm actually like decent. And don't be fooled. Again, folks, I am an athlete inside of a giant Medea suit. Like I'm in a big fat guy suit. And it's a fat guy suit of my own creation. Please do not, I don't deny that. But underneath this horrible fat guy suit, vascular and fucking yoked. I mean, like my fucking, dude, my forearms fucking, bicep. My biceps are getting round again. My fucking shoulders are cut. It's fucking awesome. All right, so unfortunately, I have a barrel over it that I'm trying to get rid of, and that's the hard part. Which is why I'm trying to buy broccoli and throw it into a goddamn Vitamix, because that's how you exist, folks. That's how you live. You eat broccoli, first you get the broccoli, then you get the women, then you get the power. So, so I went out for a pass in this football game. That's, you know what's so stupid? Again, as always, I could tell you about this football game in 9 words. However, for some reason, it's taken 9 minutes. I lined up to be a receiver at one point, and I ran a crossing pattern, which fat guys don't run crossing patterns, but I do. So I go out and I do I ran a fucking, like a reverse 7 smash, which is where you go up and kind of hop, and I cut across the middle, and they hit me in stride. And there were 2 guys, and I should tell you this, it wasn't tackle football, because fat guy is dominant in tackle football, and you can't bring me down. Like, we used to play in Sandlot, and I would just rampage like 9 dudes. I'd be dragging 9 dudes into the end zone. It was fucking awful. One of my favorite moments, all right, dude, I played a Sandlot football game once, and I went back to return a kick. And everybody was just kind of like, why are you returning? I could just, trust me. And they punted the ball up, and I grabbed, this one Bill Freeze, but this is Frank Manamaluga, this is Bill Freeze. And Bill Freeze was like, you know, he and I decided I was going to return a kick, and I grabbed, this is because we were playing with a bunch of guys I didn't know. Bill Freeze would do that. We would, I think I told you we played regular football with my friends, but then on Sundays you would show up and there'd be a game with a bunch of dudes you'd never met. And Bill Freeze would just say, dude, I know these guys, let's go play. So I showed up and he tells me, he goes, return the kick. So I go back, it was tackle football. And they kicked it to me, and I just I destroyed everybody. Like, I just rampaged. Because again, at the time I was fucking 300 pounds and I could run. So guys are bouncing off me and just flying, and I'm running, and I get to the other end zone. I returned for a touchdown, and I remember turning around and just seeing my whole team running at me, celebrating like this crazy, like, and just bodies in my wake. Like, the other team is all just laying on the ground because they either got kneed in the jaw or they just got thrown off my back. I should also tell you this, like, it was a kick return. So you imagine, you know, it was only like fucking 50 yards or whatever we were playing on that kind of a field. But dude, it had to take me like 4 minutes to run this kickback because they kept hitting me, and I wouldn't go down, and I just fucking rampage through them, and I'd get some speed going, and then they grab me, and 2 dudes, and I'd bull through them. And I remember turning around, and again, like I said, I'm on purpose. I turn around with like a mean face, like, yeah, that's right, that just fucking happened. And when I turned around, it was just carnage because my whole team was like celebrating, and they're running toward me, and then everybody else is just laid out, like on the ground, just fucking lying on, just fucking dying because I just crushed all their bones. Dude, I'm the Game of Thrones of Sandlot football players. Just a massacre. Just a Lannister massacre. So, I've never watched that show in my life. Yet I know the names and I know what to say. You know why, folks? Because I'm good at this. So I run the crossing pattern in this turkey bowl of the Moran family. And you know what? I will tell you this. That's also the same day that I went to Kathy's house for Thanksgiving, and then when Kathy fell in love with me because I was answering all the Trivia Pursuit questions, everybody wanted to fucking murder me. I told that story in year whatever the fuck. I have 4 stories. My entire life revolves around 4 stories, and I just tell them over and over.
It's not true.
But that's good, though. I do that now.
Not true.
I do that now.
Thousands.
You know why I do it now? Because when I'm 70, I won't be able to regale you with these tales because I'll be in a fucking grocery store poking some guy in the chest and getting murdered. That's how I want to go out. I don't want to die of natural causes. I want to be beaten to death in a retail outlet.
Wow.
Folks, I won't, you know what? I won't be happy unless my eulogy is clean up in aisle 5.
Oh my god.
So I'm on the field and I run this crossing pattern and they hit me in stride, and it's touch football. Okay, like I said, tackle football, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd just run over a bunch of dudes. But touch football is a disadvantage for fat guy because fat guy's always getting touched. Case in point, this story. So I go crossing pattern, they hit me in stride, and there's 2 dudes. One guy, the guy who was covering me is a couple steps behind me, and then there's a safety, a guy who was playing safety, and he starts to close the angle on me, and I turn the corner, and I outrun them both to the end zone. I fucking turn the corner, and I turn on the jets, the fat guy jets that nobody knows that I have because it's right now unfortunately encased in marble. And I turn the corner on these dudes, and I just fucking leave them in the dust. And it was the same thing. And I know what's funny? That was 10 years after me running the kickoff back in the carnage of Bill Freeze, and I still in the end zone turned around the exact same way with the exact same mean look on my face to turn around like, yeah, motherfuckers, that just happened. That's my look on a football field, folks. Except for the time I screamed like a girl when I hit my knee on the ground. Oh, dude, that was bad. I thought I like destroyed my leg, my hip, everything I thought was ruined. And then all of a sudden, in like a minute, I felt like a normal person again. But it was like this weird shock that went through my whole body, and I actually screamed like a lady. Okay. So. So I've got this old man pinned against the wall at the grocery store. And it happened super quick. Like, I should tell you, it just, it's just, he put his hands on me. I didn't even think. My fucking right hand went out. I pinned him against the wall. And I'm like, you need to keep your fucking hands off me. His face completely just this mask of, it's over. It's over. And my face changed into a murder face. And all of a sudden, the good thing, like I said, is that never lasts. I'm able to recognize. This is why I'm not in jail. This is why I have never run afoul of the law or anything really terrible has happened. This is why nothing really terrible has happened, because I recognize almost instantaneously that what I'm doing is wrong. I just need to make the decision whether I stop doing it or not. And in this moment, because again, I will be honest with you, I have like Terminator vision at that moment when all the fucking numbers and the codes and all that shit goes in front of your eye and it identifies the target. And when it identifies the target and the target is a grandfather, you should stand down at that point. So I reach my arm out, I pin him against the wall. I'm like, you need to keep your fucking hands off me. And I didn't cock a fist. Like I said, I just pinned him up against the wall and it made a really satisfying bang into the wall because I fucking put him up against it. And then I saw him get old. And it was such a weird sight because he probably walks through his life thinking, I'm cranky, I'm mean, and I do this and I do that. And he doesn't think of himself as old. He doesn't think of himself as infirm. He doesn't think of himself as someone who can't do the things he used to do. And regardless, that changes for all of us, whether the things you used to do were play football or play basketball, or if the things you used to do were bully people in a fucking grocery store without any sort of blowback. So he had this instant of mortality where I could see in his face, it flashed to, I'm in a situation I've created that I can't get out of, and this could be really terrible. And it's so funny that this, I'm not kidding, this took 5 seconds. But I saw him go from, hey, get off my lawn, to, oh my God, I'm going to be buried in that lawn. And so recognizing him slump his shoulders and like kind of squint, because he obviously thought I was going to put my fist through his head, because he kind of made a face like, like, and kind of threw his hands up, and I've got him pinned against the wall. And I was able to kind of come back and revert to being me. And again, it only took 5 seconds, but it was a fucking eternity for him. And I'm sure he'll never fucking forget it. And hopefully it'll keep him from putting his hands on anybody. But he puts his fingers in my chest. I go, keep your fucking hands off me. I push him up against the wall, and I'm staring at him, and he's looking at me, and I see him shrink into an old man. And my favorite part of the entire story, well, there's 2 favorite parts. One, I've got him up against the wall. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me, and he's sad, and he puts his hands up. And the little kid just goes right into the bathroom and locks the door. And I don't know if he saw it was his opportunity to cut in line, or if he's like, I have to get away from this murder that's about to happen. Because honestly, he looked like he was next. He's that close, because he's the only thing between us. Like I get it. The old man's at arm's length, and it freed up some room for the kid to slip out of the fucking traffic jam and go right into the bathroom, and you hear the door click, locked. My second favorite thing was, like I said, this whole thing took about 2 minutes. From entering the bathroom to wash my hands, him coming and giving me a sour look, me walking out, him poking me in the chest, and then putting him up against the wall. Might have been a minute and a half, 90 seconds. But the actual confrontation took 5 seconds. But the entire time that it was happening, the song playing in my earbuds was a song called Wise Up by Amy Mann. And if you don't know the lyrics, it's not going to stop, it's not going to stop, it's not going to stop. till you wise up. And I think I probably realized that as I walked away from the cowering old man at the bathroom door in the supermarket who I had just almost put through a fucking wall, that it's just not going to fucking stop. I thought it would. I thought I could turn it off. And I do a pretty good job of keeping him in check. I do a pretty good job of grabbing the reins and making sure I don't go off the rails. But it's not going to stop. And the end of the song is, she says it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. So just give up. But I can't. I can't give up. Because it's got to stop. Right? You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. David Hernandez is all of the music and all of the artwork for the show. An amazing friend and an immensely talented human being. You can get him at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. But if you'd like to hire him to actually do some artwork for your business, your company, or even for you, you can go to artbydmh.com, ART by dmh.com, and see about his rates and possibly getting him to do some work for you or your band or your family or your business. He's available, and he's always willing to talk. The producer of this show is our friend Lily Von Stupp. You can follow her on, you can be your friend at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp, or you can be her follower at 3 different Twitter accounts, Twitter.com/MNTs, Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, and Twitter.com/HollywoodBFest. Huh?
Hollywood BQ Fest.
Twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest.
I don't know why that one gives you
But if you'd like to write her a personal note, if you'd like to cut through all the BS and all the followers and all the nonsense and get right to the heart of the matter and find out what was on the video she refused to let me post to Facebook today,
You're an idiot.
you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Deep in the heart of Hollywood, deep in the chest of Hollywood, underneath Hollywood's tits, you'll open it up and you'll pull open the rib cage. You'll crack it with that sternum cracker. Is that what it's called? I don't even know. But when you do an open heart on Hollywood, you will find right there in the center of the chest the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. And in that club, every Monday night, as I've mentioned, is the Monday Night Teas. It is the longest running, the sexiest, the hottest, the most unbelievable burlesque show in the history of Southern California, nay, the West Coast, nay, the United States, nay, North America. I happen to know the producer of that show. Her name is Lily Von Stupp. She's a good friend of mine. And earlier, she was out patrolling the hallway because she's a hall monitor, apparently, and would not let me out of her house. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever. Something happened, and there was like a noise. Well, I'll just tell you. There was a fire alarm that went off. And it just so happened we weren't recording. If we were recording, you would have heard this huge bell. But it happened to be a point where we had stopped down because she had to get a text, and I had to send a text. And this alarm went off. And Lily's like, that's the fire alarm. And I went, whoa. I said, can we start recording? Because I wanted to have it caught on tape so you guys could hear it. And she goes, no, stay there. And then she gets up and she goes to walk out. Well, of course, I'm not staying here. I'm the talent, motherfucker. So if anybody gets out of this building when it's on fire, it's the talent. Step aside, vagrants. The talent is coming through. So I stood up, of course, and I followed Lily, which is not an unpleasant experience. I can tell you that when she's wearing shorts. And I followed her to the door, and she got to the door, and she opened the door and goes to walk in the hallway, and she turns around and she goes, stay here. So it wasn't bad enough that I got up from my chair after I was warned, but now she insisted that I stay in the apartment because she's my mom. And she walked out into the hallway, and then there were tons of half-naked poor people out there looking around in the oldest building in Hollywood, and they were all trying to figure it out. But again, I have to tell you guys something, and I'm sure you already know this. A lot of you have listened since day one, or well, at least week 8. You know this. If you've ever been to the teens, if you've ever had any experience at all with Lily, you want her on your side if anything goes badly. If there's going to be a zombie apocalypse, fuck a gun, fuck a torch, fuck fire. I want Lily Von Stupp. That's it. Because I know at that point, everything will work out. Everything will work out. Zombies, monsters, fucking, horse-sized spiders start attacking us. I don't care. I want Lily Von Stupp at my side, and it will change everything. I will always know that everything will be fine if I have Lily Von Stupp on my side because she takes charge the second anything happens. It's amazing to me. And I told you, I've been Christmas tree shopping with this woman. I've been all over the place, and she just asserts herself from the jump. The second she walks in, her carriage is dominant. Her shoulders are thrust back, and she leads with her tits and just makes sure that shit gets done. It's crazy to watch because, I will say this is true. The natural inclination of most men is to dismiss a woman. They immediately just go, well, you know what? You know what they do? They look at them when they sit in the office chair and they go, you stay here. And they walk off into the hallway to take care of whatever the fuck is going on. Which says a lot about our relationship, I think. Because apparently I wear the skirt in this fucking operation. And that's fine. I mean, that's fine with me. I don't look bad in a skirt. I got decent legs. I got calves the size of fucking hams. I'm good. But your natural, not my natural inclination, but a lot of dickhead bros, their inclination as a man is to dismiss a woman and immediately try to just reconnoiter why they're there and then take over and be the fucking man. And I got news for you. No matter what, if Lily Von Stupp shows up, she's the man. And that's capital T, capital fucking M. I don't mean like the man is in she's got a dick and she's going to swing it. I mean she's the fucking man and shit's going to get done. So she goes into the hallway, and these other dumb fucks are all kind of wandering around like, what's going on? It's a bell. And she's like, it's okay. I think someone's trapped in the elevator. Just go back in your apartment. She told the guy to go back in his apartment. And I don't blame her because the guy was pretty naked. He was wearing just like fucking underwear, like not even boxers. He had like tighty whities on, and he had a kid with him, which, I hope to God it's his son or something, or else that is awful. Maybe the kid hit the bell. But she told him, she goes, it's okay. Just get back in your apartment. She told him that. And what did he do? He went back in his fucking apartment. It was awesome. And I was standing at the door cowering, just like with one eye. And you know what I did? I started filming. I just filmed with my phone. So for once, I will actually reveal the answer to what is it, the thing at the end of the show. If you want to know the video she wouldn't let me post, it was that one. Because she's out there giving orders, telling people basically to get in their apartment, and she's taking care of all this business. And everybody listened to her. Everybody fucking listened to her. Little Asian woman, big fat dude, old guy, everybody. Okay, yeah, well, all right, she's here. Obviously, she's in charge. Because all you got to do is be, if you go out and you pretend you're in fucking charge, you're in charge. Because nobody else wants to be in fucking charge. Certainly not in the oldest building in Hollywood. But Lily went out there and fucking just took charge, and everybody listened to her. They got back in their fucking apartments. They shut up when they were told to shut up, and she started to walk back toward the apartment, and I'm filming her, and I narrated it, of course, and I'm like, guys, a lot of this that I'm saying was on there, and I'm narrating, and she goes, you can't post that. And I go, why not? I go, it's fucking amazing. And she goes, no, you can't put it up. And I go, no, I won't film you. And I did. I put it away from her when she walked up. And then when she got closer, I filmed her face. And I said, but come on. And she goes, no. And she put her hand on the camera like I was fucking paparazzi. And she goes, you can't post it. I go, why not? And she goes, because I said so. And that's where I stopped the video. And I said, I have to post it just for the ending. Just for the ending where you put your hand in front of the camera and like grab the lens. And you're like, because I said so. That's fucking awesome. She's like, no, you can't. And as I've said, folks, when Lily talks, you fucking listen. So I did, and I could not bring it to you. But I tell you about it now.
Hold a minute, it wasn't the fire alarm, though.
Well, you tell them you're in charge.
It wasn't the fire alarm. We have the oldest elevator in Hollywood as well, and if you get trapped in it, you push a button that also rings the emergency fire through the whole apartment
Yeah.
complex. So it was bzz, bzz. So I knew someone was stuck in the elevator, and by the time we got there, someone was already walking up the stairs, going, Sal's downstairs, letting them out. I push the button, the elevator light comes up, so that means the elevator's working again.
Okay. Well,
Someone got trapped, and they got set out in, a minute and a half.
I like it better when you're just like, get in your apartment. Shut up. It's
I
fine.
didn't say that. I said, you can go back to your apartment. It's not a big deal.
And they all did.
yeah.
That's my favorite part of the story. Get back
I've
in your
been here
apartment.
4 years. This is not the first time that's happened. When it's a real fire, the whole alarm goes off consistently.
That's happened?
Yeah.
There's been a fire here?
We had a fire alarm go off once.
Ah.
Yeah. Somebody pulled it.
And by the way, Kevin Duncan in England, wherever the fuck you are, he made fun of me last week because we played the clip show last week where the earthquake hit, and I had a little thing because it hit while we were on the air.
Yes.
And then he found the link. He's like, "Oh, were you talking about this earthquake, you pansy, or whatever the fuck?" And he put it on my page. I'm like, "You're in fucking England. They didn't have earthquakes there. They didn't have fucking toothpaste there. You didn't fucking bust my balls over earthquakes. The fuck do you have there?" What? I'm serious. There's no natural disasters in England other than the fucking dental industry. Seriously.
Awful.
I'm scared of an earthquake. Fine, you're scared of fluoride. Let's call it a fucking Cats game. Mate. That's Australia. Bloke. Blimey. All that other bullshit. Blighty. Whatever the fuck. And let's update this for all you English people and American people and Canadian people. If you have ordered a CD, which I will talk more about this later, but right now I'll tell you, if you ordered the CD, it's on the way. It's en route. I'm caught up. As a matter of fact, I can tell you our friend Crystal Lloyd's went out just before the show this afternoon, before I came over to Lily's. Crystal Lloyd, you were the last one I sent. So that is coming on its way to your house at 1. What do I get the address? No, she's in an eastern state. That's all I'll say. She has one of my favorite email addresses. I cannot say what it is, but I will tell you when we're off the air.
Can you tell me what it is in reference of?
You know what? I don't know, but I love the fact that she chose this as an email. It's nothing like clever, snarky, haha, this is from a movie and you know what? It may be from a song or a movie, but I just like the phrase that she chose. And I've always, whenever because she'll write me on Twitter or whatever, and I think it's actually her Twitter handle too. I don't remember, but still, it was really, but I love her email address. So that's on the way to you, Crystal, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, I got sidetracked talking about the boss here. She runs the 3 Club Santa Monica and Vine, the Monday Night Tease, which is an amazing show. Now, I will tell you this. How was this week's show, Lily?
Dirty.
Okay. Now, I was at that show, and I had planned on telling you all about it. Here's what I actually did. I wandered into the show today, and I knew a couple of the things I was going to talk about. Like, I knew I was going to talk about the teas, and I was going to talk about Trader Joe's. But I was going to end the show talking about Trader Joe's. But somehow, we spun off and wound up in it early, and I feel that was the natural ending of the show, and I didn't want to have to go back and try to tell the story of the tea, so I will bring you that next week. We'll talk about that then. But just suffice it to say, I went to the Monday Night Teas this week, and it was filthy.
It was, wasn't it?
Yep.
I mean, it was dirty. It was
Yeah.
uncomfortable dirty.
No, never. No, there's no such thing as that. Look, it should. I would have preferred it a lot fucking dirtier. I'm not gonna lie to you, folks. Let's put it this way: it was the mock strip show, like the fake strip show. Fuck now.
Go ahead. The show is an hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but people are, but it's cut in half and it's weird, and you've got a thing. You're starving.
Okay, if you want to talk about it.
But there could be another fire.
It wasn't a first fire, so there can't.
Oh
be
yes,
another.
boss. I forgot. I'll just sit in my chair and shut up.
Yes, boy.
The boss. Gig boss. Gig boss. Goddamn, so funny. Still funny. Always funny. He does it live. It's on fucking YouTube, and it makes me laugh every time. It's from some talk show in Indiana for no reason. All right, so it was a fake strip show, which meant it was going to get. That was the whole point. Was it was going to be a little crazy, raunchy. And so I said, I'll be there because I was off Monday night, so I was in. And what?
My favorite thing was when you're like, no, I'll just sit up top. And I'm like, no, you want to be in the front row.
Yeah, I showed up.
Oh, sit up top.
Well, because I hate hogging. I don't want to be that guy, and I certainly don't want to be noticeable. I mean, look. I come to those shows and I just want to blend in. I don't want anybody to know that I'm there. I'm not trying to draw any attention to myself. I just come to the show and I sit way in the back and I'm just like, all right, well, this is, because it's like being in a museum for me, folks. It's like you go there, you check out the art, you're quiet, you move along. Another exhibit comes up and you politely applaud. You certainly don't draw attention to yourself because that's what the girls are there for. They get all the attention. Why would you be involved in the show in any way? So that was my intention. That was firmly my intention when I showed up at the Monday Night Tease this week. And I told Lily, she's like, you want a chair? Up front, because I sat with Eddie. Her boyfriend, Eddie, was in the front. And she said, you should sit with Eddie. And I said, nah. I said, I might sit in the back or I'll sit in the VIP. And she's just like, you should probably sit in the front, I would imagine. I went, really? She goes, yeah. And then Eddie turns around and he does like a slow burn. Like I can't do it where you'll see it. But he just turned his head really slowly and just went, you want to sit in the front with me, definitely. I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, trust me. I go, well, yeah, but I hate taking seats from Mita because we'll bring another chair out. You have to sit here. And I was all for that because, I mean, I like sitting with Eddie because he's fun. So I was up for that. Huh?
It's funny.
Funny, sure.
Funny.
Well, it's fun but it's also fun to, because, I mean, let's put it this way. Nobody gets me. Like, I mean, the Monday Night Teas, they know me, sort of, but they don't, I mean, I can't turn around and be a fucking jagoff to them. Because I forget. Look, I'm the accidental jagoff. You ever see The Accidental Tourist? I'm the accidental jagoff. Like, I'll do shit, and I'll think everybody's on board with me, and it never happens. I never told this story. When I saw Django Unchained, like the third time at the theater, I actually went and saw it at the New Beverly that Tarantino owns. Yeah. Okay, so I went and I actually took my previous car, and I drove up there. And my previous car and I are in line. And then she went to go smoke. Karen was with me, and she had to leave to go smoke. So I'm alone in line. And there is a line, because the way Tarantino did it, the New Beverly is it's an old school movie house. Well, he presented Django Unchained with like 15 minutes of trailers from movies from the 70s, including the original Django and stuff like that. And he includes the music and the Let's All Go to the Lobby and those things and all those bumpers and trailers. Everything he loved about movies when he was a kid, he includes at his theater with his movies. So and it's a small screen. It reminds me when I was a kid, I used to go to the Brighton Theater on Saturdays. My mom would drop my brother and I off for a double feature and then go, I don't know, drink or whatever the fuck she did. She wanted us out of her fucking hair. And we would sit there and we'd watch two movies. Watch Juggernaut, which is a fucking submarine movie. Like I don't even know why, but it was just my mom's like, there's air conditioning, here's money for popcorn, go in. And we did. I cannot believe I wasn't raped as a child at the movie theater. So I go, that made me laugh. So I can't even talk. Yeah, I know, I'm an idiot.
Who says rape isn't funny?
No.
God damn it.
It's always hysterical, right? You can make it funny if you try. that sounds like something from Saturday morning cartoons. You can make it funny if you try.
Well, the actual rape isn't funny, but they're... I wasn't laughing. I don't think you were.
Okay. Well, I couldn't. My mouth was full. Anyway. Just turn this off, folks. Is it any wonder why I almost killed a 70-year-old man in a grocery store?
Oh my god. Oh my god, it hurts.
So, I don't even remember what we were talking about. I swear to God.
You're in line.
Oh, I'm in line at Django. Okay, so I'm in line at Django, and Karen goes off to smoke, and I'm waiting, and there's probably like, I'm about 15th in line. Well, in the front of the line is basically, if you go to a Tarantino movie, his production company is called A Band Apart. This is essentially a Band Apart logo come to life. It's 5 dudes in Django shirts who've obviously seen the movie like 10 times already. And they are crazy Tarantino heads. So whenever anybody walks up to get in line, they loudly proclaim how great the movie is and how we all need to be careful because it's really violent and there's a couple of parts you're really going to want to walk out, but you got to stick with it because that's how Quentin does things. And they're giving us a speech as if they're the only people who know anything. And the funny thing is, if you did that during Reservoir Dogs or maybe even during Pulp, I could see it because people, the zeitgeist had not caught up just yet. Pulp Fiction is where the zeitgeist caught up with Tarantino, and since then people wait with bated breath for his next release, knowing exactly what they're getting into. Well, so I could see you being in line and being a know-it-all and trying, but especially in the middle of fucking Hollywood at Tarantino's theater, these are hardcore motherfuckers who are coming there. They obviously know what they're in for. So you're just jerking off at that point. You're bragging to brag. You're showing off. You're just like, yeah, well, anyway, I know more about Tarantino than you do, and they just want to basically want to bait you into a trivia contest. You know, what was in the briefcase? Shut the fuck up, honestly. Nobody fucking cares. Why is the Wolf having a formal party at 9 a.m.? Shut the fuck up. So that's that. And look, I'm one of those dudes, but I'm not one of those dudes out like talking to everybody and showing off because everybody's on board with Tarantino now. It's not like he's not my guy anymore. He's everybody's guy. But it'll always be special to me. Anyway. So I'm in line, and they're broadcasting this loudly. You know, there's a lot of violence in the movie. It's really bloody, but it's really funny. It's maybe his funniest, and it's also very bloody. But yeah, I understand. There's a lot of language, and they're warning. But then they're also doing it in like shorthand, like his voices. You know, it's not Mr. Blonde angry, but it's really angry. And I'm oh God, kill yourselves, honestly. So in front of me, there's one dude, and he's in line with me. And Karen has walked away, so I have nobody to talk to. And I'm looking at my phone. This dude's looking at his phone, and the guy looks up at me and kind of like smirks because those guys are loudly proclaiming that they're the greatest fans who've ever lived. And I say to him, and I go, hey, have you seen the movie yet? And he goes, Django? And I go, yeah. And he goes, yeah, I did. And I go, oh, okay. I go, because I'll tell you what, man, if you hadn't, the two of us could go up front and stab these motherfuckers to death because they will not shut the fuck up, and it would ruin the movie for me. And this guy, he looks at me and just looks back down at his phone. Doesn't even... Because now I'm the bad guy. These guys are ruining shit for everybody, but because I was like, yeah, because I wanted to stab these motherfuckers and kill them because they're... And he just... Because I just talk like that. I just talk. Because I don't even think about it. It's like... And especially, you know, you're in line for a Tarantino movie. I think he can handle a little fucking language, but the look on his face was priceless. He just stared at me like, what? Did that fucking just come out of your mouth? That blue streak of invective? And then... Look down at his phone and... Probably texted help. And I was like, oh, fuck, where's my car? So I don't like to draw attention to myself is my point. Was that my point? Perhaps it is my point. So I go to the tees and I sit in the front row with Eddie, and it's fun to hang out with him. And they're telling me, look, you need to be up front. It's a thing. It's the raunch show. And then our friend, a burlesque dancer named Botoxic shows up, and I talked about Botoxic on here before. She does a lot. She has a few acts, but the one I talked about on here was the Joan Jett act, which is amazing because she has the hair. She has like that. Is that a page boy? What is that? I don't even know what it's called.
I have no idea.
Okay, but it's you know, it's just basically bangs and straight. Yeah. She has Joan Jett hair. It's a Jet boy. It's a Page Joan.
It's a Joan Jett.
There you go. She has a Joan Jett cut. And then she has fucking abs for days. Like it's like if a blind guy put his hands on her stomach, it would read "I'm hot" in Braille.
I believe that to be true.
Yeah, that's how fucking amazing her abs are. So she comes in and sits with me and Eddie, and incredibly friendly to me. Always been very nice. And when I was bouncing, she was friendly to me too. She would always be nice. And then when I hosted, well. A couple of weeks ago, I told you the story. I went in and I hosted the second half of a show for Lily, the tribute show, the benefit show for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. And I up top, I wasn't funny. I did a present, like I spoke from the heart a little bit about Lily and burlesque, and you know, did it in a room full of people, and a lot of people were very nice, and they thought it was good. So Bo, the next morning, immediately friended me on Facebook because we weren't friends, and then she wrote me a Facebook note and was like, I just want you to know that I was really moved by what you said last night, and it made me think of things in a different light, and thank you so much. Very friendly and nice note. Well, of course I didn't answer it because I don't answer notes, as you all know, because I read them and then I'm like, oh, I gotta write that person back, but then there's 10 more notes, and it's just I'm gonna hide under the coats to get away from these notes. So I hadn't seen Bo since that arrived. So she comes in last night, and I said, hey, and she gives me a hug, and I said, hey, I owe you a Facebook note. I apologize. And she's like, you owe me nothing. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure I said what I said, and that's great. And then we talked a little bit, And she's like, how you doing? And I said, I'm still Travis Barbecue. And well, I didn't tell her that. I said I was a barbecue guy, and I explained it all. And we were sharing a bit about how, let's put it this way. The bottom line is she knew all that from the speech I gave. And she looks at me like I'm this pathetic figure. Like, she was really nice and friendly, but it was funny because she goes, "Can I buy you a drink?" And I'm like, "You don't have to buy me a drink." And she goes, "No, really, I want to." And I go, "I can afford a drink. It's fine," because everybody thinks I'm completely flat broke, ruined, and I'm not, But at the same time, it was really nice for her to do that. But it just felt awkward. Like, I felt like I should apologize to her for being me. It was so silly. I didn't even know how to explain it. But she's like, and at one point because I talked about being a barbecue driver, and I go, it's grim. She goes, "I don't ever judge anybody on their occupation." I go, I do. I go, "Well, actually, I judge me on my occupation, and that's not what I should be doing." And we talked a little more about it, and then I just kind of stopped talking, and she just looked at me in the eyes, and then she just hugged me, like, just reached and just, like, I guess she felt like I needed it or something. It was so strange.
She knows you're an awesome person with a great soul.
Oh, I don't know about any of all that.
Yeah.
My soul's been gone since March. I left it in the trunk of my previous car. So I just felt weird. I felt badly about it. I hope that she didn't think that I was some sad sack, and that's all. But again, because I look at myself like that, and blah blah. Yes, roll your eyes at me. That's fine. Stay in your chair. So she sat in the front with us, and that was fine. Oh my! You see those veins? Vascular. Getting there, folks. So show starts. And our good friend Patrick is the host, and his guys as a strip club DJ Randy Stallion. And he's, sporadically self-aware strip club DJ Randy Stallion, who will do all the strip club patter, and then I'll go, "Ha ha, I had a terrible relationship with my father. Let's get the next girl to the stage." It's a really funny character. Makes me laugh. So he was doing his thing, and I'm in the front row. And the show kicks off, and out comes Miss Angie Cakes. Comes out. And apparently Miss Angie Cakes has a little stripper in her.
A little?
Well, because she came, I think, did she do Motley Crue? Who did she come out to?
Shit, I can't even remember.
But regardless, she made sure to come out to some crazy 80s strip song. And then she was grinding, and she pulled her ankles up over her head and rolled around on a fucking, like a carpet, and just raunchy and filthy and awesome. That's the way it should be. And then there was Bianca Boom Boom, and Miss May was there, and a few other people, but it was strippy, but not really like raunchy for me. But I will say this too. If I'm there, I cheer for the dancers. Like, I want to make sure, well, because Eddie does the same thing. Don't make a face at me, because they need to understand that, like, that's the thing, is they're working for applause and the same thing too. So in the beginning, I was just kind of like, woo, and clapping, which is fine. So then there's intermission comes along, and then the the second half of the show starts. And was Sheila the first?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Sheila Starciani comes out, and to kick off the second half of the fake strip show, and Sheila decides to fully embrace being a filthy stripper. And I've talked about Sheila before. She's bendy, and an amazing ass. I mean, just a serious backyard that you want to put a swing set in and just stay out there till it gets dark. God damn it. And this is why I'm an ass guy, folks. Like, I like everything. I love women. I love them all. I love the basic model, and if you want to go ahead and put in a few extras, that's fine with me too. Like I said, push button ignition and fucking leather clad stick shift. Even though I can't drive you with a stick shift, I'm happy to look at it and grab it. Actually, you know what? Let's leave the stick shift out of my women, now that I think about it. Wow. I didn't even think about what that meant until it came out of my mouth. Yeah, we're gonna lose the stick shift out of my women. Unless the rest of you is completely girly, then that's maybe I can see past your stick shift. And maybe I'll even give it a throttle or two. Who knows? It's been a while. So Sheila comes out and just gets raw and And Sheila has this. All right, because burlesque is all about the tease, right? And it's all because burlesque is classy, and that's fine, and I appreciate that, and I understand the art of the tease, but there is something to be said about the art of the sledgehammer.
Yes.
I understand you want to give me a wink and toss your hair and then flit off into the bushes, but there's a little something to be said about grabbing my hair and spitting in my face. I mean, that's.
Oh my god.
I'm okay with that sometimes. Uh, so Sheila has this uncanny ability, and she does it even when she's doing just regular burlesque or even this filthy show or just a regular one. She has the uncanny ability to always look really naked. I don't know why. Every other girl they'll have that, that fringy, thing around their waist, or they'll have stockings or something. But Sheila always gets down to like a fucking postage stamp and two Post-its. Like, I don't know how it happens. No matter what she's wearing, Sheila looks naked. And maybe that's my head playing tricks on me.
No.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Because it's funny, because again, burlesque is all about class. It's all like they give you that little tease. It's like seeing a nun wearing garters. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, kind of. You know what I mean, right?
I don't know.
Where it's like it's all classy on the surface, and then you're like, oh look, yeah, it's like, oh, it's a little naughty there at the end. But for me, there's something to be said for absolute reckless abandon. So Sheila gets completely like, and not completely naked, but looked completely naked, and then and another thing is too, she's not afraid of the floor, which it's like when I go to a strip club and I'll see a girl and she's not afraid of the pole. That's awesome, but it's also just as good when a girl's not afraid of the floor, and she'll get on her knees and maybe crawl around for a while, or even better, lie flat on her back and just pull her legs up over her head, or spin around, or maybe not spin around. Hold on a second, she's not fucking Ozone and Turbo and Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. All right, she's not. We're not having a break fight, all right? She's getting naked for our enjoyment. It's not fucking, she's not in a buffalo stance, all right, with Malcolm McLaren. All right, so
Oh wow.
buffalo gals go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. I mix it up, folks. I threw a little buffalo stance with Nana Cherry, and I came back with the buffalo gals from Malcolm McLaren. Forget it. Who cares? It was on the fly. Huh? Mix them up? I'll mash them up? I'll smash them up? Oh, we got to do a mash them up. I'm in it. So, folks, so Sheila's naked, and also she's very like her ass is in play, and then she like sits on the stage and then and spins and puts her legs. Dude, it was pretty filthy. So, here's what I decided to do. Particular intermission. I was like, all right, if this gets like strippy. Well, strippier. I mean, the opening was, Angie was really strippy, and I wasn't ready for it up top. But then, Miss May and Bianca Boom Boom, they weren't so strippy. They were more burlesque. But I said, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to go full Mike Schmidt strip club experience. If they're going to bring strip club to the table, I'm going to put a fucking napkin in the collar of my shirt and eat. So, and I should tell you this, I knew who was coming up near the end of the show. There were a few girls who were coming up that I knew of. There was one new entry who I had never seen before and did not know of. But they were closing the show. It was going to be Sheila and then these other three girls. So Sheila goes off and she does her thing. And so I started to kind of get crazy. Not like super crazy. Well, not super like crazy, but just... that thing, like I've described being in a strip club with friends and when you're just trying to have a good time, because it's like, hey, we're all here. Let's do this. They're getting naked, so let's let them know that we appreciate them being naked with, singles. But at this show, I can't give singles, so all I can do is fucking yell. So, and grab Eddie by the fucking collar and shake him and just like, yeah, goddammit, that's right. And Bo, the funny thing is Bo is between me and Eddie, and she like wants to crawl into a hole and hide because Eddie and I are both like going like full strip club. So Sheila finishes and we're just like, yeah, that's right. We're clapping and we're going to high five, whatever. So the next girl coming to the stage is a girl by the name of CC Stiletto. Now, I think I've talked about CC Stiletto on here before, and truth be told, I think I actually talked about the act she did Monday night. Because I know, she's done that. I've seen it. You sure? I thought I saw it.
No, she's never done that at the show.
Okay. Let me set up Cece Stiletto for you. Cece Stiletto is a fucking battleship. All right, she is. She's got to be 6 foot, probably 5'10", maybe.
6 foot with her heels on.
Yeah. So with her heels off, she's probably like 5'9", and just fucking broad.
Badass hourglass.
That's what she goes by, the badass hourglass. Yeah, it's just top and then the swoosh and then she's got Jessica Rabbit appeal. Like she's got that thing. You never seen a cartoon when a guy will be like, "Woo," very shapely, and he'll do his arms like that. Woo. He basically makes an outline of CC Stiletto. So, and what was funny is Eddie told me, he's like, you have to sit in front because of Cece. Well, when I showed up, also I would say this about Cece Stiletto. She doesn't worry so much about being naked ever. Like she's fine with it and she thinks it's great. She may think it's as good as I think it is. Because when I showed up at the show, there was a magazine called Bachelor Pad magazine, and it's a burlesque publication.
It's
well,
actually pinup.
okay, it's a pinup magazine, and once a year, they do a nude issue. And last year, I happened to see some people that I know in it, and that was not as awkward as I thought it would be. I didn't think it was going to be awkward. I couldn't fucking wait. So, because Lily handed it to me, and she's like, here, take a look at this. And I was like, how the fuck did that happen? And she's like, yeah, they just do this. And it's, it's tits and ass. It's not, there's no gupper involved. But it's just, fucking, it's old school pinup hot nudes. So I walk in, and Eddie just looks at me when I walk. This is when I arrived at the show, and Eddie looks at me and he goes, hey. I go, what? He goes, hey. I go, what? He goes, hey. I go, what? He goes, did you see this? And he hands me the new Bachelor Pad magazine, and on the back page is CC Stiletto, just completely naked from the back, just her ass. And she had just finished signing it. CC is standing right next to me when I walk up, and he hands me basically this naked picture of her ass. And he goes, I go, whoa. And I looked at her, and I go, that's you, right? Because I was being silly, because she had just signed it. And she goes, it is. And I go, I don't know. You look different in this photo. I'm going to need some proof. And so she pulled her dress up and was completely naked from the back in person now.
That's fair.
And there was no tee-hee or ha-ha. She just did it and then looked at me like, uh-huh. And I went, yeah, that's you. Gulp. I'm going to go hide from the aggressive lady now.
I taught her that.
Because in flirty poker, I just got housed. And then Eddie made me laugh because he goes, "What? Oh, I didn't. Was that you? I couldn't." And he took the magazine. He goes, "I really don't think it's you either." And then she showed her ass. He goes, "Thanks, Mike." And she ho-hummed it and rolled her eyes at the two idiots and then went in the back room. So she comes out. They announced that it's going to be CC Stiletto, the badass hourglass, and a song called "Pour Some Sugar on Me" starts. I swear to God I've seen it, and I swear to God I've talked about this on here. But it doesn't matter because it's worth talking about again. And quite frankly, after what I saw Monday, it's worth talking about every week. Because she came out on stage with like was it a trench coat or a robe?
It was a robe.
She had a robe on. But under the robe, she had, you could see pink through the robe. Pink clothing. And then she just fucking decided to grind it up on the stage all through Pour Some Sugar on Me. She sat on the chair and she did that thing where she like spreads her legs real fast after they sit down. And the best part is she's wearing this nuclear pink swimsuit. So when she flashed her legs, all you saw was pink, but not the pink you're used to seeing between the legs because it looked like, look, if that's what her pussy looks like, she got fucked by a uranium rod. Because it was nuclear pink and it was just fuck. But that's where your eyes went immediately when she spread her legs. It's just like, what? Pink? What? And then she just fucking owned the place. Because she's got huge tits, and then the suit was kind of falling off, and she had tassels on. Which, you know what? It's funny. The pasties with the tassels, they make it almost more obscene because it looks like they've got giant nipples poking out of their fucking suits. And so she's walking around with like bullet nipples from her tassels, and then this strip of cloth that is just barely covering her gupper. And you're waiting. I'm waiting for her to zig when she should have zagged, and everything's gonna come fucking tumbling out. And then I'm just gonna crawl in there and go to sleep for a while. I'm just gonna go ahead, climb in, and take a fucking nap. But she just, I mean, it was crazy. She got on the chair upside down, and then she had a flask, and she poured poured some stuff all over her, and it was just, and so when she took the robe off and turned around, it was just ass, and I just went, God damn it!
Yes, you did, and the whole room went.
Because fuck it, I'm gonna get into it. If you're gonna do that, obviously that's why you're doing it. Why are you gonna be demure? Who's gonna sit around and watch that and just be like, oh well, golf clap? Fuck golf clap. My hands are busy. My hands are too busy to applaud, so it's all mouth from this fucking point on. God damn it. That's right. Jesus Christ. And I reached over and I grabbed Eddie by the fucking hair, and I'm just like looking at him like, yeah. And I fucking look back at the stage, and I kind of like, I'm on my chair, but I'm on the edge of my seat leaning forward so the back legs are off, so I'm as close to the stage as I can possibly be without getting up. And then Cece comes out into the fucking audience, and then she goes over to Tom, this dude Tom, who is a new listener to this podcast, so he'll know I'm talking about him. I won't say his last name. I don't want to embarrass him. Let's just call him Tom, the luckiest fucking guy on earth. Because every chick chose him to fucking grind on. It was like, hey, I'm in the front row. I'm in the front row for a goddamn reason, right? You see me, my hands are busy. I yelled, God damn it, don't I get some respect? Doesn't matter. She's tits deep in fucking Tom at this point. Then she gets back on stage and she's fucking stripping, and her tits come out, and she does the tassel spin, and I'm going, yeah, that fucking yelling like an idiot. We're all having fun. I think we're all having fun. I'm having fun, and Eddie's having fun, and Cece just turns on and just does it. And it's funny. She never smiles her entire fucking performance. She's just like, fuck you. And then she walked off. And I was just like, we standing O. We fucking gave her standing O and fucking high-fived, sat down. Awesome. And I turned around. I'm looking at everybody. And by the way, standing O, it was me and Eddie. Nobody else stood up. And I'm looking around like, get the fuck up. Tom, you don't have to get up. We know why you can't get up. But everybody else, get up. So because I haven't been to a strip club in anger in forever. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to immerse myself in the experience. So then, Randy Stallion comes out and he does some more jokes, and it's funny as hell. And then he's like, we're going to bring the next girl out. And I don't know this person. And Eddie looks at me and goes, wait till you see this. And I said, well, I haven't seen her. And he goes, wait. So they bring out Miss Lulu Lamond. Lulu Mandu. And I guess Lulu, in addition to being a burlesque dancer, may have a career in the stripping arts somewhere in Los Angeles. Is that correct?
She teaches fitness and pole dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and works at Jumbo's.
She works at Jumbo's Clown Room, which is a topless environment.
They're actually not topless.
They're not? I thought they were.
Bikini.
Holy shit. Well, they need to go topless quick. I'll tell you what, if I'm there, I swear to God, I haven't been there in like 12 years.
Nope.
Maybe I was there on a good night.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was another clown room in town. You know what? I was at Jimbo's Clown Room. That's where I was at. So Lulu Mandu comes out, and the reason I thought she was involved in the stripping arts, and I guess she's a bikini dancer over at Jumbo's, is because she's straight stripper. Like, she's not even, she's good at what she does, and she's doing burlesque, but she's got latex all over her arms and her legs, and she's tearing it off. And fucking grinding and getting naked. And so now we're fucking yelling. And by we, I mean me. And then she goes out and she's another one who sits right in Tom's lap and starts grinding her. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Tom, you gotta get some new pants, buddy. No, he's got the lucky pants. Keep those pants. Never wash them again. Well, wash the inside. Don't wash the out. But Lulu grinds all over him, and she's rolling, and so again, I'm cheering and we're going crazy, and Bo is trying to crawl into a hole and hide because she's like, why was I nice to this guy earlier? He's acting like a psychopath. But I was like, fuck it, I'm in. And I'll tell you what, if she would have come over me, again, it would have been that thing where I'd been like, hey, punch me in the face, do something, let's go. Let's make this work. But she just killed it. So at the end, she kills it, and she did that thing where she jumps and lands in the splits.
Oh.
God damn it! And another serious backyard. Everything was just awesome. And she finally finishes, and she walks off. And Eddie and I are fucking standing up, and we're clapping, and I'm just like, yeah, God damn it! And Eddie sits down. And I go, I point at him, and he looks at me, and I just headbutted him right in the fucking skull.
Yeah, you did.
Because I threw it back to like old school Mike, and I looked at him and I go, that's right, God damn it, bam! And I headbutted him, and he just fucking like reels back, and then he looks at me like, what the fuck just happened? And he's kind of groggy, and there was someone next to him, and this girl Phyllis looks at him, and he's like goggle eyed, and I'm just like, I look around like, yeah, that's right, you're dirt. So my point is, if you're having a strip show or a dirty burlesque show, don't put me in the front row. Do not put me in the front row. But it was great. It was an amazing time. It was fun.
Who closed?
And our friend Jezebel Thunder closed, who will never speak to me, who's not nice to me at all. Well, she's not nice. She's pleasant, but she always ignores me. But she came out, and then she was, of course, hot. She's just hot.
Nature.
Yeah, she did Human Nature by Madonna. And a lot of chair movements, but the best is when her her pants almost fall off. She got half ass hanging out, and because she's got serious backyard too. God damn, folks, a lot of backyards here.
Some hot friends.
Yeah, you do, and they tore it up. Lily could not perform, unfortunately. She hurt her knee before the show, and she kept toppling over on her stripper heels. She had lucite fucking crazy shoes. She looked amazing. You did look amazing. But yeah, unfortunately, she could not dance because I wanted to see what. Because you that was your thing, right? Didn't you hang out at strip clubs growing up? Yeah, well, speak. It's a microphone.
I wasn't a stripper, but I hung out with strippers.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So you would have torn it up.
Yeah, well, I was going to do an act I haven't done since before my knee, and I went down to do all the floor stuff at the club, and I went, oh, yeah, no, this isn't going to work. It worked at home on the carpet okay, but by the time I got to the club, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
It's just not physically possible.
Well, you were missed.
Thank you.
Perhaps I would have headbutted you at that point. But it was
My ass shot on Facebook?
I did not. I have not seen your ass shot on
Look
Facebook.
at my profile picture. Sam took a candid of me across the room, and I'm just like, oh, shit.
Looks good?
It's all ass.
Good. You can't, again, that's why I'm an ass man. You can't fake ass.
Can't fake ass.
So go to Lily's page and look at her profile picture. I love the fact she's like, she's my ass picture? Ooh, it's my profile picture. You should check it out. You try to pretend like, yeah.
No, it's pretty ass-tastic.
Good. I'm in. I'll check it out.
Rump-tastic is what someone wrote, and that made me laugh.
What do they call it?
I'm like, what is rump-tastic?
Rumptastic. Perhaps all they want to do is zoom in your boom boom.
Maybe.
Shake your rumptastic. Shake it. She should spend every birthday buck naked. The words of that song are not good. It's not a shining moment in the history of rap. Rump Shaker by Rex and Effect. So it was amazing. It was a great time. Who's that? Lily, let's talk about this week's show. There is a Monday Night Tease this week, and with a theme almost as interesting as crazy raunchy strip show. This week's show, folks, is the MILF Show. And the reason it's the MILF Show is because every single one of the burlesque dancers in this show has kids,
Yeah.
including one who will have her kid with her that night. He lives in her stomach.
7 months pregnant.
And that is that Scarlett?
Yeah, Scarlet Orgasm.
Scarlett Orgasm is 7 months pregnant and will be dancing at the show. And as we all know, the female form is never more beautiful than when it is with child.
Pretty hot.
Particularly if you like German porn. So you should come out to the show on...
Wait till you see what she's dancing to. That's hysterical.
Yeah? All right, I'm excited. So Scarlett Orgasm will be there, and then it's going to be a ton of other women who...
Lulu's back.
Lulu Mandu?
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row?
Star is back. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Wait, Lulu Mandu has kids?
2.
She's got 2 kids?
Yeah. Sheila
Jesus.
has 2.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
They need a nanny? Or a manny? I could be a manny. Come on, I'm good with kids. As the kid hiding in the bathroom still at Trader Joe's a day later with the fucking door locked. Yeah, no, I'm terrific with kids. So next week is the MILF Show. And, of course, we've got the Hollywood Burlesque Festival coming up. That's December
6th to the 9th.
6th through the 9th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Tickets are available now at HollywoodBurlesqueFestival.com. Go to Brown Paper Tickets for all the tickets for the Monday Night Teases that are upcoming, particularly the MILF show and then anything else in the future that we will announce. Go to Brown Paper Tickets and search Monday Night Tease or search Lily Von Stupp and buy tickets. Buy tickets for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. It's going to be an amazing time. I cannot wait. I will be excited. I think I'm in town and I will be able to attend at least one of the nights or maybe all the nights. Who knows, folks? It's a crapshoot. It's a coin flip. As always, you know I'm a coin flip. But I would love to be there and I hope you will be there as well. Go to Facebook.com/The40YearOldBoy. Be my friend while you're there. And while you're there, you can read all sorts of stuff about live appearances that I have coming up. Let's talk Austin. Let's talk a little bit about Austin, Texas. Hey, Austin. Buy some tickets. We are 2 weeks away from me coming to your town and being funny at 6:30 in the evening at the Cold Town Theater on Saturday, Saturday, September 28th. I will be, you know why? Because I heard Cold Town and I mean it thought of winter. So the Cold Town Theater in Austin, Texas is available to sell tickets to you. No, they don't. I do through Brown Paper Tickets. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm doing a show. Jesus Christ, the fuck happened to me? Austin, Texas, September 28th. That's a Saturday at 6:30. I will be there doing a show. It's exciting. Tickets are on sale now at brownpapertickets.com. Hey, buy some tickets. They're available. I would love it if you did it, and I will be there in tow. I will have all sorts of merchandise for you to peruse, but more importantly is I'm doing a show, and you're going to laugh. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be fantastic. And our friend Trey is already, like I said, picking me up at the airport or driving me to the airport, whatever the fuck he's doing. I got to confirm all this stuff online. October 18th, I believe I'm in Seattle. Well, let's see. The 30th is a Wednesday, so the 23rd is a Wednesday. So that means the 16th is a Wednesday. So that means the 19th. So yeah, the 19th. It must be October 19th. It's a Saturday night in Seattle at the Jewel Box at the Rendezvous Theater, October 19th. Yeah. Tickets are on sale now at brownpapertickets.com. Seattle, buy some tickets. Some people just bought some yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll be coming to your town and hopefully entertaining you. That'll be great. And also, please remember that November 2nd, Saturday, I will be in Green Bay, Wisconsin at the Green Room Lounge. Tickets are on sale right now at brownpapertickets.com for all of these shows. Austin, September 28th, and Seattle on October 19th, and Green Bay, Wisconsin on November 2nd. And again, as I've mentioned to you folks, November 2nd is the final show of my life because I will be murdered on November 4th at the Bears-Packers game. So please come on out and buy some tickets for November 2nd in Green Bay. It's the big Farewell to Mike show. Going to be exciting. So that'll be fun. Tickets are available there. Go to Facebook.com, like I said, and be my friend while you're there. You can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and check out all of the stuff at the Joe Business page. Stuff like the Schmitty Comes Alive download. Stuff like the download for the Life of Schmitty, which was the single from this year's interlude. We have artwork, signed artwork available for sale. 2 people have purchased artwork. I have to write you, and I will write you tonight and find out exactly what it is you want. Oh, actually, I know what one of you wants, but he had another question. Oh, whatever the fuck. I'll write you. That's all. If you've ordered artwork, I need to write you, and it's happening tonight. I've been a little behind shipping CDs to people. Oh, my CD, did you mention that? Yes, The Big Angry. My CD is available at the Joe Business page as well. There's also a link to my Amazon store where you can go in there and buy stuff, and I think I get credit for it. I don't know yet. I don't know how it works. But you can buy my you can buy my CD through the Amazon link if you'd like, or you can buy it directly from me on the website and get an autographed copy. That's what I recommend. That's what Crystal Lloyd did, as I mentioned her, at her address at no, I can't say it. But I'll tell you this, we've got the download sets as well, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5 of this show available individually or also as the UN of Evil box set, which you can buy right now. And then you'll be getting 4 for the price of 5. Sorry, 5 for the price of 4. You can donate to the show. Upper left-hand corner of every page on MikeSchmidtComedy.com. There's a little donate link. Click on that. You can donate $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month, or just make a one-time donation. That's always appreciated. So I've mentioned artwork. I've mentioned downloads. I've mentioned CDs. I've mentioned the donate button. I've mentioned all that stuff, but there is one thing on the Joe Business page that I have not announced yet, folks. Something that I've not mentioned. Something that I've not touched base on, that I'm about to touch base on right now, folks. The Yurt shirt is available now for pre-order. I've ordered them, and they're en route to me. I should be getting them in a few days, but you can start ordering right now. They are $25 if you buy them in America, and $30 if you buy them abroad. because there is that little bit more of shipping cost that it runs me, unfortunately. But you can order those. Now I'll tell you what, we've got the yurt shirt is available. Yurt. And there's something new I will tell you about. Shirts are available for men in sizes small to 3X. But I will tell you this, small and medium at an absolute premium. I ordered very few small and medium men's shirts because that's what I have left in like every shirt that I have ever ordered. I always have smalls or mediums left because I got a lot of beefy guys out there listening to this show. And if I sold smalls or mediums, by the way, yeah, when we took the picture of you, you saw that, right? Me holding your hair, and the guy's like, "Did Lily take you to the gun show? Because your fucking arm looks awesome." So this guy Mike, is that from really? It's from when I'm rubbing him out? All right, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Well, if that's the fucking case, how am I not massive? Jesus Christ! Wait, so you go left-handed hand job?
I go both.
Well, because literally she actually she put her right hand in her crotch and then used her left hand to like jerk a guy off. So I guess that's what you're doing at the same time. I guess that makes sense.
You can't do that at the same time. Do that again.
What? Well, no, because let me put it this way: if my hand is, if I'm rubbing, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. All right, so I can do that. There you go. My mouth is usually involved. It's never a two-hand operation, and if it is a two-hand operation, it's just one. It's that I can do that easy. All right, never mind.
Really?
So
Really?
what? Just
polishing the pearl?
yeah. It's fucking.
I like that you actually fake licked your fingers before you did it. That's fucking hysterical. You're like,
You want to see technique? I'll show you technique. I'll show you how it works.
Don't. But welcome
That's
to
actually
the
I'm a fan of that. I won't get into it. So let's talk about shirts, baby. So there's 3X, 2X, XL, large for men, and then there's medium and small. But again, seriously, at a premium, the medium and the small, to the point where let's put it. I'll just tell you, there's 5 medium and 5 small.
What?
If you tiny guys out there want them, if you small in stature gentlemen would like those, let me know. And I know a lot of you women out there are like, dude, why the fuck did you order 5 smalls and 5 mediums? That's what we usually buy from you, are the smalls and the mediums. So now how are the women going to get shirts from you? Guess what?
What?
Ladies, you've been heard. Women's sizes are available in the yurt shirt. Anywhere from 2X all the way down to small for ladies. Now I will tell you this. This is an experiment because previously I've just bought shirts and then sold shirts. And ladies, you were just kind of stuck with a shirt you could sleep in because that it didn't fit you well or whatever. Well, now these are ladies' shirts, but they are also at a premium. That's not saying I can't order more, but as an experiment, because I will tell you this, folks, I have to pay for these up front. And that's a daunting task. So I have to churn a lot of money into that for printing and shipping and all of that stuff. And I ordered I can't even remember how many I ordered, but, it's a lot of dough. So I bought all right, I'll just tell you. Why is it always a secret? I have 5 2X ladies shirts, and I have 10 in all of the other sizes. XL, L, M, S. There are 10 in each of those. So I only ordered 45 ladies shirts. So they, again, at a premium. If you're going to buy them, buy them. And it does not mean that I won't order more in the future, because I honestly, if I was convinced that I could sell 150 ladies shirts, I would absolutely buy them. But I bought a small amount because I want to see how this goes. And you've been really great, at live shows. And I will tell you this, they're $25 in America, like I said, and $30 international. But if you come to a live show, it's $20. So if you want to save yourself the little extra money or the shipping cost, but then again, remember, shirts are at a premium. It's so stupid. This is so dumb. It's not the fucking playoffs. If you want one, order one. That's the bottom line. But I will have them in Austin. I will have them in Seattle. And I should have them in Green Bay. It all depends on if they sell out. But even if they sell out, I'll order more because we like them. And, come on. How do you... That's all I'll say. So that shirt is available. If you go to the Joe Business page right now, you will see there's one of the young ladies who previously was only wearing a nightie has now slipped on the yurt shirt, and she looks amazing in it. And then, of course, you'll click on the light box and see Mex's amazing design to order the shirt. So those are available right now. Your shirts are available. Go ahead and pick those up. I would love it if you got one right now. And again, like I said, it's a pre-order situation, so I will keep all of the orders on file. I'm not getting them until like the 25th. I think it's the 25th they arrive. Now, I fly to Austin on the 27th. So if you order, shipping will probably be done September 30th. That will be the first day of shipping. But I will have them live with me in Austin, as I've mentioned. And I will keep it posted on if they sell out, if the ladies' shirts sell out. And if they sell out super early, I may order them right away. But just letting you know. So that's that. So your shirt is available, and go ahead and pick one up now. That'd be great. I'd appreciate it. Podcast appearances. I'm on this. It just went up tonight, as a matter of fact. I am on the new Battleship Pretension podcast with my friends Tyler and David. And they have a weird, well, not weird, just a different format because, it's about movies. But we talked about not specific movies. We talked about a genre of movies this time. We talked about blockbusters and blockbuster fatigue. And we did a little sports talk. We talked about The Big Angry for a while. And we talked a little bit about me and who I am as a podcaster. It was fun. It was a really good interview. And I had a great time, as I always do, with Tyler and David. So go ahead and download the Battleship Pretension podcast. Look at that. Double mic on a Wednesday. Double-barreled fucking mic. You get this show. You get some Battleship Pretension. You buy a yurt shirt. You sit there. You wear it. It looks amazing on you. This is going to be fantastic. So go ahead and download that and listen to it. And like I said, I am live in Seattle. I'm live in Austin. I'm live in Green Bay. And please remember, October 4th, 5th, and 6th, I am at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. Tickets are available at lapodfest.com. You can go ahead and get tickets for the 3 days, the whole shebang, the whole pass, and go and see Jimmy at Never Not Funny. Go see Doug Loves Movies. Go see the Pod Smash. Go see all of the shows that they have. Turns out I am no longer against Walking the Room. I was supposedly at the same time as the Walking the Room podcast, but now they've moved that. And it turns out, folks, I'm only against the hottest podcast in the world, Welcome to Night Vale, in their live debut. So that's good, right? That's good news. If you were coming to see me, that doesn't fucking matter. You're going to come and see me anyway. But as far as drawing from other people at the festival, believe me, Night Vale is going to be out the fucking door. Hopefully they don't spill into our room. But I will tell you this, too. I just got a call from Graham. Hey, remember I said I'm in the Espada room? Is that where I'm at? Dude, that's not where I was last year. The Espada room seats 120. Because he told me, he just called me. He's like, hey, I just wanted to check with you because last year you were in the room that seated 60. He goes, but we got you in a room this time that seats 120. So I want to make sure that's okay. So I'm going to write him and go, yeah, as long as you don't mind me half filling it. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. If you got another room that'll fill up more with more people, then go ahead and switch me. But right now I'm in a bigger room, so there should be room for more of you guys. Lily's saying no. She completely disputes that.
Well, no, I'm just laughing because you're against Phil Hendry, too.
Oh, I'm against, is Storyworthy too still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm against Storyworthy. I'm against Phil Hendry, and I'm against Welcome to Night Vale. So, but again, like I said, Welcome to Night Vale is the hottest it's the number one podcast in iTunes right now. What are you making? What's happening?
You're also against the EFF patent trolling.
The patent trolling panel.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Somebody asked me a question. When I was on Never Not Funny, I started to talk about that. They started to talk about the patent trolling, and they gave an announcement, and I went to say something, and I stopped myself. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to get into this. And then people wrote me, and they said, one guy on Twitter, and then some people wrote me email. They go, what were you going to say? Because, you never stop. But if it's not my show, I will stop myself from talking because otherwise it would have turned into a huge debate. And also, I probably would have said something that they didn't like. But here's what I was going to say about the patent trolling and the guy and all that bullshit in iTunes. And I think I've actually said it on this show. I don't fucking care. Let the big guys fight that fight. It's so funny. I keep getting, tweets from Mark Maron, and all these people are like, we got to fight these guys where they live. I don't. You guys are fucking huge, and your networks, and you got all these sponsors and shit, so you guys go after that dude. I'm in a stripper's kitchen. And I'm talking about punching an old man in the face. So the last thing I'm going to do is get into this fucking patent troll fight because, look, I'm going on at the podcast festival at 4 o'clock in the afternoon against 3 bigger shows than me. So obviously I'm not going to be able to affect any change at all when it comes to patent trolls. So guys like Never Not Funny who keep asking, people to get involved, and I totally understand that. I understand Mark Maron. I understand Adam Carolla. I understand all of the bigger shows getting involved and wanting to fight the fight against the patent trolls. But I got to tell you, man, I am a fucking chihuahua in a room full of Dobermans. You Dobermans go ahead and take care of that, and if there's any steak left, I'll go ahead and eat it. And I don't want it to look like I'm benefiting from their hard work. If it turns into a union thing, or it turns out we're all fucking yelling Attica and Norma Ray is ringing the bell, or Allison Rosen is up in a Norma Ray outfit ringing the bell, and we're all supposed to go ahead and band together, that's fine. But I'm going to need a little more than a tweet telling me I need to get on board. I'm going to need, well, Mark or somebody to call me and tell me, hey, we're going to do this. We need you involved. Because I'm not going to respond to some call to action from afar. I'm not some dairy farmer down in the fucking Dell while Mark Maron is up on a mountaintop with a Ricola horn fucking blowing it and trying to get me to go ahead and join his fucking army. It's not happening. Why is Mark getting singled out? I don't know. I don't mean that. But he's the biggest show in the world. He and Rogan and those guys, those are big shows. They should fight this fight. And I'm happy to fight the fight if I get called up to battle. But right now, I'm just me. And I'm fucking independent, and I'm happy to do this show. So there you go. And I know everybody's like, well, if the patent troll gets his way, you won't be able to do this fucking show. Well, yeah, I will. You just won't be able to fucking hear it. You think if the patent troll guy wins and he takes over podcasting and iTunes is destroyed, I'm ever going to stop coming to Lily's house on a Wednesday and talking into a fucking microphone? No. You know what? I'll just fucking do the show and sell it. It'll be a totally different opportunity. You know what? That's what we should do. No, we shouldn't do it now because nobody will buy it. But if they eliminate podcasting, I'll come here, I'll record every week, and you guys can subscribe. You can pay me $1 a week and I'll fucking mail it to you. We'll do it that way. Yeah, I'm not getting shut up no matter what. I don't give a fuck if this patent troll idiot shows up or if they even come to the fucking door here and ring the bell and pound on it, because I'll tell you what, no matter what the fuck happens, I've got Lily Von Stupp running fucking interference for me. I know nothing bad will ever happen to me as long as I've got Lily Von Stupp right in front of me. She's the John Hanna of this show. She's the Joe DeLamalure of this show. She's the Anthony Munoz of this show. She is opening fucking holes and I am running right through them, goddammit. She's the Orlando Pace of this show. She is the Art Shell and Eugene Upshaw of this fucking show, goddammit. And she is just opening holes on the left side of the line and I am plunging through like goddamn Mark Van Egan, like Clarence fucking Davis. All right.
I know him.
You know Clarence Davis?
Finally.
Good for you. So that was what I was going to say on Never Not Funny, but I thought it would turn into a big thing where I was like, all of a sudden I'm against big shows, but I'm not. I'm not against anything. I didn't get into podcasting to have a boss. I've said that a million times. Well, I've said it first to Lydia about nobody got into stripping to have a boss. And then I adapted it to podcasting. But it's totally true. I mean, I do what I want. Because I wound up talking to a guy this week, and he's like, yeah, you do that show by yourself. I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, I do my show by myself, too. But I only do it like 20, 30 minutes. And I go, my show's been like 4 hours sometimes. He goes, yeah, I try to keep it, really short for people. And I go, good. I don't. He wasn't being mean. He was just stating what he likes to do. And I said, and isn't that the beauty of it? Isn't that the beauty of it? You can do whatever the fuck you want. And I understand if the podcast troll guy comes, you won't be able to do what you want. Bullshit. All right? I'll be able to do whatever the fuck. I will find a way to get my message to you folks. If I got to skywrite this show every goddamn week, that'll happen. Granted, it will kill everyone in that city from all the smoke. They will choke to death. But I will still get it to you somehow. And so that was what I was going to say about the podcasting troll thing. So I am there. Like I said, my show is on Saturday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right now, it's against those other shows. I hope you will join me. If you don't, I completely understand, because there are other amazing shows for you to check out. I will also tell you this. Sunday at noon, I am on a podcast panel. Let's put it this way. You just heard me on the podcast panel for the patent trolling. Well, if you want to hear my feelings on podcasting networks, I will be on a panel at noon on Sunday, along with Christine Blackburn, who I've met. She's a comedian. She actually runs Storyworthy. And I just saw another name today, folks, and I can't believe that this guy is on this panel. Because I didn't know, look, I don't know anything from podcasting. I know the top shows, and I know that I do it. That's it. And there's new podcasters always propping up every week, and good for you. That's the way it should be. You should be doing this. But John Lovitz is going to be on the podcasting panel. And I should tell you, I've already had the fight in my head. I mean, I know how it's going to go. I'm hoping he's cool, and I'm hoping we get along, and everything seems to be fine. But, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it, because, I'm certainly not going to shy away from saying what I have to say. And maybe he agrees with me. Who the fuck knows? I have no clue. But we'll do the show on podcasting networks. I don't know who's the moderator. They keep changing, because originally Christine Blackburn was the moderator, and then it was me and 2 other guys. Well, according to the thing I saw on Facebook today, it's me, John Lovitz, and Christine Blackburn on the panel, and perhaps there's another moderator. And eventually, by the end of it, it's literally just going to be Christine Blackburn, and then I'm going to be on the phone from somewhere. It keeps changing, and that's fine. I think I'm still involved, and I'm sure they'll let me know if I'm not. But if you want to see a podcasting panel, and you'd like to see me sit with podcasting luminaries like John Lovitz and Christine Blackburn, please come to the panel on Sunday at noon at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. Tickets available at lapodfest.com. My show is Saturday at 4 o'clock, and then the panel on Sunday. I wanted to update you guys, because last week, again, it's funny. I was going to do this in the beginning of this show, but I'll do it now. Last week, I was freaked out about my taxes. and then freaked out more because I was gonna have to sit in a room with my my previous car, and go through my taxes, and then afterwards I didn't know what was going to happen, because it's just odd. It's just a weird situation. I don't know how to live it. So last year when I did my taxes, I brought I brought Lily von Stupp because, again, as I've said to you folks, nothing bad is going to happen to me when I've got Lily von Stupp with me. You know, it's funny. Mex drew an old id once where I said I have to have my Lily with me. I just have to have her. So last year she came, and the tax guy was like charmed completely by Lily, who's incredibly charming and, you know, really pretty and has big tits. So the guy was diffused. This year Lily could not go, and I knew it was going to be bad. We are filing, by the way, this year's taxes late, and it had to be done by September 15th. So Karen wanted to come to the apartment, and I was like, no, you can't, and we're going to meet there, and whatever the fuck. It was just a mess. So the bottom line is I went into the tax guy, and I have my QuickBooks report in my hand, and I felt, I've never had a fear of public speaking, even as a child. I would get up, I'd go to the board, I'd talk. I'm a fucking ham. But when he starts telling me to read him numbers, I was so nervous. I had dry throat, dry mouth. Because he yells. He's that guy. And I don't do good with that at all. I get this really weird form of social anxiety if someone's being mean to me, that I just want to basically lash out with my right hand and push you up against a wall and yell at you. So I started to read the numbers, and he's like, not that number, another one. And so I read it, and he goes, no, what are you doing? And he kind of started to rush me, and I stopped. And I put it down, and I said, hey, you can't do that to me this time. Because I'm really freaked out, and my friend usually, she came last year, and she would be here, and she'd be helping you and me with this. But I'm going to do the best I can, but you can't yell at me, not today. Because, I'm sitting right there with Karen, and that was weird enough, seeing her and being with her. And then having to give the numbers, and it was stressful. And also because I knew I was going to owe a ton of money, and I didn't want it to be a mess. And but I made eye contact with him, and I told him flat, I go, you can't yell at me, not today. And he smiled, and he said, I've worked with you a lot of years, because he's been with me for 12 years. He goes, I understand that completely. We'll go slow, and if I need something different, I'll ask, but you give me what you got, and we'll make this work. And it was perfect. He could not have been nicer. He was so cool. I gave him the numbers, and he would coach me, and he'd say, what about this one? What about this one? And I'd give him everything. And Lily had put together the QuickBooks really well. And also another thing was thrown into the fucking mix, because when Karen shows up, she's got 3 of my W-2s that I didn't know I had. So we did my taxes without them. But in reality, it was in there because it was money that I had deposited, so Lily found it in my bank statements. But without having the W-2s, I couldn't fucking stack them. And I was like, Karen, why did you take this? She goes, I told you I took the tax stuff. I go, why'd you take my tax stuff? Take your fucking tax stuff. Again, remember, we're not us anymore. And that's a weird sentence to say. But he made it work. He was so great. And Karen, of course, was completely prepared, as she always is. Because that's what we used to do. When I couldn't bring Lily, I brought my Karen. And she ran interference and took care of everything. Well, she's not my Karen anymore, and my Lily wasn't there. So thankfully, I just kind of slowed the process down, and he worked with me, and it worked out great. And we got a refund. I got a state refund, and I got a federal refund. And the great news of that is it goes right to the government to pay off the taxes I'm still paying from 2011. But that's fine. I don't care. Take it, apply it. Let's get it squared away. I don't need it. It's good. And then I had to meet with him separately and talk to him about some stuff. And then I went downstairs, and Karen was there, and she's like, do you want to have lunch? And I was weird about it, but I was like, yeah, okay. So we went to eat lunch, and we talked about, taxes and what to do in the future and how we're going to file. There's all sorts of shit to decide still. I'm still, my car may have driven off, but I still have the pink slip. And until I get rid of that, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do on my own. So we have to figure out a lot of stuff. And we actually went to sushi lunch. And I will tell you this, for no reason at all. We were sitting there. Bruno Mars came in to have sushi lunch. Karen noticed him at first, which is good because I was about to step on him and squash him. Because he might be 1 foot tall. He's so tiny. He is the tiniest man. He had a little fedora on. Looked really cute. He looked like Michigan J. Frog. Like he was just like a singing frog. So he jumped back into his shoebox and he had some sushi. It was great. So I update you on that because I told you about it last week. And also on Facebook this week, I posted a picture of the Genius Bar. And you guys are all probably, I hope it makes a great story. No, it's not a great story yet. Because what happened was we had a power outage at my house. And 7 hours. And it killed my fridge. I had to bring all my Hey, by the way, also, let's update that. Chobani, how I'm not crazy, right? I told you guys last week I had an extinction level yogurt event. And then the next day it hits the news that they're calling all of them back because they're swelling up. Ha, see? I'm not crazy. Institutionalized. All I wanted was a Pepsi, folks. So I had to bring all those Chobanis back, and then I bought new ones, and I replaced it, and everything happened, whatever. So that's updated. But also, I went to the Genius Bar. I had to make a Genius appointment. After the power outage of 7 hours, I sat down to work on my computer, and I turned on the desktop, and it was a white screen, and it just started flashing intermittently an apple, a circle, and a slash, and a folder. Ding, 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 just flash, 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 flash. So I Googled that on my laptop, and it said white screen of death. And that's never good. So I immediately went to the Genius Bar and I made an appointment. I actually used the phrase white screen of death in my appointment. And that was on Thursday night, and it turned out they scheduled me for Monday. So I went in Monday, and I carried in my desktop. And a very lovely Apple genius named Darcy came over. She was really cool. And she goes, "Can I read your computer?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, I'm going to put it in for the diagnostics and see if we can find the hard drive because it looks, it might be the hard drive that crashed." I said, "That's great." I said, "Darcy, I got to warn you about something." And she said, "What's that?" I said, "Darcy, my screensaver is very not safe for work." And she made a face and goes, "What?" I said, "Well, there are children around, so if you plug that in and my screen lights up, these children are going to have a very different opinion of Batgirl for the rest of their lives."
Oh, that's right.
And she just laughs, and she goes, We've seen it all." I said, "I'm sure you have. I'm not questioning that. I'm worried about the 4 8-year-olds here who are learning how to use an iPod Shuffle." She's like, "Well, don't worry about it. This just tests diagnostics. It doesn't light the screen up." I said, "Great." So she ran the diagnostic check, and my hard drive's fine. All the green check marks were there. There's just no computer. There's no there. Gertrude Stein is the Apple genius who's working on my computer. My computer I have an Apple Oakland. There's no there. Look all of these literary references up. So she goes, "You know what? We're going to keep the machine." And I go, "That's fine." I go, "I have a laptop." She goes, "Okay." She goes, "We're going to take a look at it. And I tell you 48 hours, but there's no way it's going to take 48 hours. We'll probably know by tomorrow what it is, and we'll let you know if you want to repair it, because I think we're going to have to reinstitute your operating system, and I'll let you know if we need to put a new one in. It's just because it's out of warranty, and there's no Apple Care on it anymore, all sorts of bullshit." I said, "Okay." So I signed everything away, and I said, "Look, I'm just warning. I know the guys in the back have seen stuff, and I know you probably have too. I'm just warning you that if you turn it on, that's everybody's naked." And she's like, "All right, that's fine, no problem." So that was Monday, and it's Wednesday night, and I've heard nothing. So it's been 48 hours with no call. So either they forgot me, or I have stumped Apple geniuses the world over, and they're having a conference call. I understand they were reconnoitering. They were getting together to have their big iPhone 5 announcement. Because, folks, I don't know if you saw, now it's blue. And gold, or champagne gold, it's called. But yeah, so they're getting together to figure out what's happening. So I don't have a desktop yet. I have my laptop, obviously, but that's fine. But it made me laugh that she's 48 hours. So now, you know what I think, folks? I don't even think there's anything wrong with the machine. I just think they are dubbing the Batgirl screensaver onto every single one of their devices, sending it around the world. It could be something. You know what? It may be the next Apple thing. Maybe it's on the iPhone 5. Who knows? They'll find something to do with the naked fucking Batgirl screensaver, and I don't blame them. I'll tell you what. I can give them a list of things to do with the naked Batgirl. I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. I can't go for Schmidt. No, no. No can do. 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 No can do.